Chen Xiang was a little worried about the ice dragon sword, because he had just used it to open the treasure chest. The energy inside was completely gone. As he was I. Plusing his body, he held it in his hands and channeled energy into the ice dragon sword. Chen Xiang was a little worried about the ice dragon sword, because he had just used it to open the treasure chest. The energy inside was completely gone. As he was plusing his body, he held it in his hands and channeled energy into the ice dragon sword. It did not take long for the ice dragon sword to have some cold chi. At least it did not look as bad as before. If it wanted to recover to its previous state, it would need a long time to channel energy. Chen Xiang followed Long Huishan to the Holy Dragon restaurant. On the way, Chen Xiang found out that when the Holy Dragon Pavilion was first named, it was because the people from the Sacred Dragon Mountain had requested for it to be named as such. Right now, Long Huishan was a girl that could control such a huge Long family. It was normal for the people of Sacred Dragon Mountain to become jealous. In the future, there might be even more troubles. On the third floor of the hotel sat a group of richly dressed people, both male and female, young and old. When they saw Long Huishan bringing Chen Xiang over, they knew that they would be able to see the unsheathed ice dragon sword tonight. Is the ice dragon sword given to this person? A middle-aged man dressed in gold robes swept a cold glance at Chen Xiang. His face was filled with annoyance. A ice dragon sword was something that he had been staring at for a long time. It's not for you. It's for you. This ice dragon sword is not something that anyone can pull out. Only people who have fate with it can do it. Young Master Yun is destined to be able to pull out ice dragon sword. That's why I gave it to him. This way, I can rely on young Master Yun to enter the depths of the dragon cave and receive the inheritance of the ice dragon ancestor. Even though Long Huishan's voice was very gentle, everyone could hear the extreme dissatisfaction in her voice, as if it was a warning. The middle-aged man who spoke earlier was the second strongest warrior in Sacred Dragon Mountain, and now that Long Huishan dared to treat him like that, it made him extremely unhappy. In his eyes, Long Huishan was just a little girl. This guy is called Long De, the second strongest warrior in Sacred Dragon Mountain. You have to be careful of him, Long Huishan whispered to Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang took out the ice dragon sword. The reason he was called over was to show the ice dragon sword. He did not want to stay for too long, in order to not reveal his identity. Long De walked in front of Chen Xiang and stared at the ice dragon sword and said, "So it's fated if you pull it out? What if I pull it out?" Chen Xiang said, "You're so strong, of course you can pull it out." Long De turned around and waved at a golden-robed youth. "This is my nephew, Long Jiong. He is also the son of my brother. He has just crossed the 9 nirvana tribulations and has just become an immortal. He should be able to try, right? The son of the strongest warrior in Sacred Dragon Mountain. Although he had just become a worldly immortal, he was definitely not weak. Looking at Sacred Dragon Mountain's attitude, he wanted to walk the ice dragon sword. Give it to him. You've talked to the ice dragon before, and the body of the ice dragon only recognizes you and Long Huishan. Just you wait and see him make a fool of himself," Long Shui said. Although Long Jiong was the son of Sacred Dragon Mountain's master, he did not have that kind of arrogant aura. His handsome face had a faint smile and his deep eyes were filled with wisdom. This person is good at hiding his true self. He is a shrewd individual who will definitely become a big shot in the future. This was Chen Xiang's evaluation of Long Jiong. Let me explain this in advance. Don't blame me if there are any problems. Quite a few people died from drawing their swords, Long Huishan said solemnly. Then if Zhiyong is able to pull it out, should we give the ice dragon sword to him? Long De seemed very confident. Of course I will give it to him. Catch. Chen Xiang very casually threw the ice dragon sword over. Long Zhiyong immediately became excited, because he had hidden a lot of power. causing others to think that he was just a worldly immortal that had just stepped into the immortal realm, but he was already a immortal monarch. He believed that he definitely had the strength to pull out the ice dragon sword, and his sacred dragon bloodline had a secret technique to restrain the ice dragons. However, what they did not know was that this ice dragon sword had already changed greatly. The ice dragon's external body that was hidden inside had already been activated by the ice dragon. At the moment, Long Ji-yong held onto the sword sheath, feeling the icy cold power surging out, making him immediately use the power of the holy dragon to resist. He held onto the sword hilt, slowly pulling it out, but just as he revealed a bit of the sword body, a burst of powerful icy cold power burst out and fiercely drilled into his body. Ah! Long Ji-yong shouted in shock. He had to use his true strength to resist the cold, otherwise his arms would be frozen. Longda was also surprised. He anxiously took a step forward and slapped away the ice dragon sword, then pressed his palm on Long Ji-yong's arm, transferring the power of the holy dragon to help Long Ji-yong drive out the cold air. Chen Xiang picked up the ice dragon sword and said with curled lips, "I'm not ashamed. Just now I even said that I was a worldly immortal, but this aura is at the level of a immortal monarch. I never thought that a dignified sacred dragon mountain like you would be so shameless." When Long Ji-yong used the power of the holy dragon, all the experts present could see that. They were secretly looking down on the people of Sacred Dragon Mountain, but they didn't dare to say anything. But Long Huishan was very angry. Her beautiful face was currently covered in frost, and her eyes shot out a true cold aura, causing Long Ji-yong's entire body to involuntarily tremble. "How dare you lie to me?" Long Huishan clenched his fist and shouted, "Get lost!" Being yelled at like that by a little girl to scram, Longda immediately angered him. "Long Huishan, don't think that just because you're an immortal king you can be so arrogant. No matter what, I'm still your elder." Long Huishan said coldly. "Long Song is also my elder, but his head has also been cut off by me? Do you believe that I can cut yours off as well?" Seeing Long Huishan this kind of the surrounding experts were all startled. This little girl actually had such power, to actually dare say such words to the Sacred Dragon Mountain's second strongest warrior, caused them to be shocked in their hearts. Long Huishan had always hated the people of the Sacred Dragon Mountain. The people of the Sacred Dragon Mountain had always wanted to annex the Long family. She suspected that the reason Long Song could successfully kill her father was because of this Sacred Dragon Mountain. Chen Xiang had just heard Long Huishan mention that the Long family was able to sell some things to the Sacred Dragon Mountain at a very low price every year. "To be disrespectful to one's elders, I will teach you a lesson today." Longda became angry and punched towards Long Huishan. He actually planned to form enmity with the new Long family patriarch. Today was a celebration of the new clan master of the Long family. It was within Long Huishan's expectations that someone would provoke her. She felt that this would help her establish her might. S hand was like lightning, grabbing Longda's fist in a split second. A thick layer of ice immediately sealed Longda's hand, and that thick layer of ice even quickly spread towards Longda's arm. C1125, Pride Pill God. C1125, Pride Pill God. What kind of elder are you? My ice dragon bloodline is not even of the same bloodline as yours. What right do you have to teach me a lesson? With your little strength, you're not even worthy. Long Huishan's cold voice was accompanied by waves of cold air that enveloped the entire hall. She grabbed Longda's fist and twisted it fiercely, causing Longda's frozen arm to turn into ice and fall onto the ground. Longda was shocked. His face changed and quickly kept his distance from Long Huishan. "Go back and tell your brother that from today onwards, my Long family will no longer sell you our resources at a very low price. Also, if you dare to provoke my ice dragon lineage again, I will annihilate your Sacred Dragon Mountain." Long Huishan pointed to the stairs and said, "Before I have the intention to kill you, scram." Long Da was furious in his heart, but he did not dare say anything more. He helped Long Zhiyong, who was wounded by Ice Dragon Sword, up and left the Holy Dragon Tower in a hurry. If it was the Ice Dragon restaurant, she would completely fall out with the Sacred Dragon Mountain. If not for the events tonight, in order to stabilize the Long family, she would have continued to work with the Sacred Dragon Mountain. But since the Sacred Dragon Mountain was bullying her, she could not tolerate it. Chun Xiang pulled out the Ice Dragon Sword, and after letting everyone look at it, Long Huishan announced that the banquet was over, and then returned to the Long family. After returning back, Long Huishan and Chun Xiang chatted for a while before they went to rest, while Chun Xiang ran into the secret room. With Long Huishan, the female Dragon King, and the Sacred Dragon Mountain on top of it, Chun Xiang had to be wary of the Sacred Dragon Mountain secretly doing something, so he put aside other things and first refined a few more drunk G.O.D. powder. He already had the 2 high-grade ground-level medicinal ingredients, 5 elements Profound Dan and Profound Spirit Beast, given to him by Long Huishan. He had originally planned to refine more in the next few days to increase his strength as soon as possible, but from the looks of it now, he had to help Long Huishan to take down the Sacred Dragon Mountain. Amongst the 4 great clans, although the Long family had lost a patriarch a while ago, and if there was an internal conflict, their strength would inevitably be weakened greatly. But after Long Huishan had obtained the inheritance of the Ice Dragon, his strength had explosively increased, and he was already on par with the head of the Sacred Dragon Mountain. Chun Xiang was certain that the Sacred Dragon Mountain would collude with the other 3 great families and specifically deal with the Long family. At noon on the second day, Chun Xiang walked out of the secret room, and Long Huishan coincidentally returned as well. She and Chun Xiang stayed in the same house because she wanted to protect Chun Xiang. "Any latest news? You wrinkled that Long Da last night, they wouldn't just let it go like this." Chun Xiang poured the fragrant tea that Long Shui and the others brewed in the serene jade ring for the female Dragon King. "The people of Sacred Dragon Mountain are not stupid, they did not make any big movements, and they know that if they were to fight with me now, even if they win, they will greatly damage their vitality." Long Huishan savored Chun Xiang's fragrant tea, and her mood immediately became much happier. Today, she had a meeting with the elders, and discussed many things, which made her head hurt. There is a small disturbance, they really want to get their hands on the Ice Dragon Sword, so they sent someone to challenge you. Using this method they want to win the Ice Dragon Sword. Chun Xiang laughed. "If there are benefits to winning, I will go." Long Huishan shook his head. "There are benefits, but it's better if you don't go. The people from the Sacred Dragon Mountain are indeed stronger. If you go, I'm afraid you'll reveal your true ident. One Tai. That green dragon demon-slain broadsword of yours is much more precious than Ice Dragon Sword. What did they use to bet with me?" Chun Xiang had only wanted to ask casually. He did not plan to compete at all. "It's a sword, called the Fire Dragon Sword. According to legend, every dragon ancestor had a sword back then, but I wonder where they got it from." Long Huishan said. Chun Xiang's ring had a holy dragon sword in it, and now, he had a Ice Dragon Sword. If he defeated the fellow sent by the Sacred Dragon Mountain, he would have 3 of these swords. How many ancestral dragons are there in total in the Little Naughty Dragon? Chun Xiang asked anxiously. However, only Fire Dragon, Jade Dragon, White Dragon, Ice Dragon, Holy Dragon, Azure Dragon, Poison Dragon have these swords. There are only 7 of them called 7 Dragons. Sword is. Long Shui said. Poison Dragon is also an ancestral dragon? Isn't this fellow dead? The poisonous dragon is very powerful, okay? Furthermore, he is indeed the ancestor of the poisonous dragon clan, and all dragons are bred by the world. Other than the metal, wood, water, fire, earth, and 5 elements ancestral dragons, there are also other dragons of different attribute. With the fire dragon's sword right in front of his eyes, how could Chen Xiang not be moved? It was very likely that he had gathered all the 7 dragons' sword. Chen Xiang anxiously grabbed onto Long Huishan's jade hands and said, "I want to go, and help me agree to Sacred Dragon Mountain's request. Of course, my cultivation cannot exceed mine by much, and it is set to be in a month's time. Aren't you afraid of exposing your idol? One Tai. My guess is that the people of Sacred Dragon Mountain will use the fire dragon sword to fight with you, and they will be able to restrain the cold energy of the ice dragon sword." Long Huishan was very clear about Chen Xiang's strength. If she did not use other methods, Chen Xiang would not be able to win. Chen Xiang laughed. "Big sister Long, you have underestimated my strength, right?" Long Huishan said in a tender voice, "This is an honorable compet. One Tian. I know that on other occasions, Immortal Monarch would probably be killed by you, but this is different. Don't go, it's fine if the Ice Dragon Sword is won, but what if something happens to you?" Chen Xiang suddenly spoke in a deep voice. "Sister Long, do you know why Dragon Emperor came today? Because Prince Imperial Dragon was killed." Chen Xiang nodded his head. "That's right, Prince Imperial Dragon was indeed killed, but do you know where? To tell you the truth, I have a holy dragon sword in my hand. You received the Ice Dragon's inheritance of memories. You should know about the 7 dragons' swords, right?" Long Huishan instantly opened her beautiful little mouth wide. The holy dragon sword was actually in Chen Xiang's hands. "Prince Imperial Dragon was done by you?" Long Huishan sent a sound transmission to Chen Xiang, but then shook his head. The Prince Imperial Dragon must have been killed by Super Yuan sect leader, because the Dragon Emperor suspected Chen Xiang, but in the end someone pointed the finger at him. She believed that no one could deceive the Dragon Emperor. The inheritance of the Holy Dragon was extremely difficult, especially for the Holy Dragon whose bloodline was extremely rare, so the Prince Imperial Dragon was extremely precious, and he even obtained the Holy Dragon Sword. Not only was the Prince Imperial Dragon eaten by Chen Xiang, it was also eaten by him. Although the taste was not good, it was able to increase his strength by a lot. "I am a leader of the Dragon Subduing School. I don't have the slightest ability. To be honest, that drunk God scent was something I got from the Chaotic Mountain." Chen Xiang did not immediately tell Long Huishan that he was the one who killed the Prince Imperial Dragon. "All right, I'll help you arrange it." Long Huishan took her hand out. She had been caressed by Chen Xiang, so she pouted playfully. "Little scoundrel, you dare to take advantage of me." "All right, I'll help you arrange it." Long Huishan took her hand out. She had been caressed by Chen Xiang, so she pouted playfully. "Little scoundrel, you dare to take advantage of me. Patriarch, someone is looking for you. He's very strong." The jade talisman that Long Huishan placed on the table suddenly released a sound. Long Huishan rolled his eyes at the grinning Chen Xiang and asked, "Who is it?" She said that her name is LV Qinlian and she comes from the Heaven Realm. She wants to discuss some business with you. The little demon Empress LV Qinlian actually came here, but this was a good thing. With the relations HI+P he had with LV Qinlian, he could definitely make LV Qinlian and Long Huishan friends. "Ask her, is there anyone else?" Chen Xiang whispered to Long Huishan. "Is there anyone else?" Long Huishan asked as he held the jade talisman. "Yes, 2 old men and 2 beautiful women." Chen Xiang felt that he should have known those 2 old men and the 2 women before. "Get someone to bring them here. I know that LV Qinlian, she is very strong, and an expert in poison. She is also a spirit demon king." "Demon king? And it's even poison." Long Huishan looked at Chen Xiang strangely. The Goblin King who used poison was very strong, even she was wary of him, yet Chen Xiang recognized him. Long Huishan immediately instructed his men to bring LV Qinlian and the others over. They arrived here very quickly, and Chen Xiang also knew who the 2 old men were. It was Du Hai, the elder of the Dan Immortal and his own dragon-subduing school, Li Baojun. And the two women were the charming and beautiful Hua Xiangyue and the elegant and refined Wu Qianqian. Since they were here to forge pills, it wasn't strange for them to be here. Of course, they didn't recognize Chen Xiang, but Hua Xiangyue was a little suspicious. She was Chen Xiang's female slave, had once had a relations Hi+P with him, and had a very intimate contact with him. Upon entering, Hua Xiangyue looked at Chen Xiang, and this caused LV Qinlian to gently pull her away, indicating that she should not be so rude, because when they came, they had already investigated the person who was being close to Long Huishan. Chen Xiang naturally knew that Chen Xiang recognized these people. Chen Xiang's concealing ability was indeed strong. If she wasn't able to recognize Chen Xiang, then this Blee and charming absolute beauty in front of him, who had looked at Chen Xiang the moment he entered the room, had obviously seen through something. From this, Long Huishan was able to conclude that this incomparably charming beauty definitely had a good relations Hi+P with Chen Xiang. After Long Huishan dismissed the servants, Chen Xiang immediately burst out laughing. "Little scoundrel, it's really you." Hua Xiangyue took a step forward, tugged at Chen Xiang's ear, and snorted, "You're so worrisome, hiding here is so dishonest." LV Qinlian, Du Hai, Li Baojun and Wu Qianqian were stunned for a moment, but they quickly realized that the person who helped Long Huishan become the female Dragon King was actually Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang changed back to his original appearance and shouted, "Little girl, I am your junior master uncle, don't be rude." Hua Xiangyue released Chen Xiang and let out a charming snort. "We're all acquaintances, no need to be so polite. Sit down and talk." Chen Xiang laughed. "Elderly, don't pretend to be an old man. You aren't me, what are you afraid of?" Li Baojun laughed. "I'm used to it, how can I be as good-looking as you? You look like a prost. One toot everywhere." After Chen Xiang introduced the person, he asked, "Big Sis Lu, what business do you have with female Dragon King?" LV Qinlian and Du Hai were very strong. One of them used poison, and the other was a Dan Immortal. After the death of Super Yuan sect leader, Du Hai no longer had any enemies left. He had previously promised Chen Xiang that he would help him find his friends, and after he went to Zilan Mountain Valley, he saw those girls, but amongst the girls, only Wu Qianqian, Hua Xiangyue and LV Qinlian came over, as they were looking for a large amount of medicinal ingredients. "I just feel that we're all women, and that it's easier to get along with them, especially in matters of cooperation." LV Qinlian laughed. She was dressed in a light green dress, making her look extremely beautiful. "Since you are this brat's friends, then you are mine as well." Long Huishan treated Chen Xiang extremely well, because without Chen Xiang's help, she wouldn't be who she was today. "We need to find some medicinal herbs." LV Qinlian looked at Du Hai and said, "This requires the help of a huge power to make it easier to find." Long Huishan nodded his head straightforwardly. "No problem, write a list for me. I will have someone to look for it, I will do my best to help you." LV Qinlian and the others admired Chen Xiang at this time. He had actually hooked up with the female Dragon King, and their relations Hi+P was so good. Long Huishan took the list that LV Qinlian and the others had given her and went to arrange things for them. Those medicinal ingredients had some poison, and there were also heaven-level medicinal ingredients used in pill refining. "Is Xian and Yulan with you guys? Why didn't you come together?" Chen Xiang was a little disappointed. "They are busy. Meng Air and Warm Moon are about to become deities, and they probably don't plan to return to Dtian. That will affect their future growth, so they will be going to Heaven Realm with them. I want to go with them." What Hua Xiangyue had said was also within Chen Xiang's expectations. These were women who were closely related to him, and he was very happy that they could safely pass through the Nirvana realm and become deities. Heaven Realm was a place to become a ranker, and was also a place he would go to in the future. Xian Xian and Yulan will both become leaders of Divine Weapons Heavenly Country, but they also seem to be in a hurry to go to Heaven Realm, so it looks like Super Martial School will be handed over to Super Martial School to take care of them. Hua Xiangyue said again. Chen Xiang looked at Wu Qianqian. Wu Qianqian's strength was not low either. She had previously had a fortuitous encounter, and obtained a type of flower, which caused her strength to increase very quickly. From the looks of it, she was also someone who was HI plus ing to the Heaven Realm. Well, sooner or later I have to go too. It's just that I won't be able to do well when I get there. Chen Xiang sighed. Don't worry, Menger's parents are very powerful and their strengths in Heaven Realm are pretty good too. At that time, Xian Xian and Yulan will also be very good in Heaven Realm. Hua Xiangyue laughed. In short, we will meet again at the Heaven Realm. Li Baojun said, those traitor powers have given up on Di Tian, but in the future, once they ascend to heaven, there will definitely be a BLOODY storm. If we continue to stay in Di Tian, it will be hard for our powers to increase. LV Qinlian said as he nodded his head, what you need to do is to stabilize the foundation of your forces after leaving Di Tian. Chen Xiang felt that he could still stay in Di Tian for a while longer. Before he ascended to Heaven Realm, he had to remove all the hidden danger. When they returned to Di Tian, it would be the era of their new generation. Du Hai and the others had only just arrived in Holy City. They did not take a stroll around. After that, Li Baojun followed Du Hai and said that he would go and register to take the test for a gold rank alchemist, then refine pills at the Long family's shop to earn some spiritual crystal and the like. Du Hai and the others had only just arrived in Holy City. They did not take a stroll around. After that, Li Baojun followed Du Hai and said that he would go and register to take the test for a gold rank alchemist, then refine pills at the Long family's shop to earn some spiritual crystal and the like. LV Qinlian then said that he had some private matters to take care of and left the Long family in a hurry. Qianqian, you followed her, you didn't suffer, did you? After not seeing you for so long, you have become more and more good-looking. Chen Xiang smiled at Wu Qianqian. Elder sister Xiangyue treats me very well. On the other hand, you're still the same as always getting yourself into trouble wherever you go. Wu Qianqian gently smiled, looking extremely beautiful. Not only can you get into trouble, you can also take advantage of the situation. If not for being together with the Demon Empress, I still wouldn't know that your relations, I plus P with her was actually this good, as well as the Yen Xilan and Du Yenyao within the Zilan mountain valley. I think this dragon-subduing leader of yours should be changed to the G.O.D.S. leader. Hua Xiangyue snorted. His voice carried a bit of jealousy. They are my friends, not what you think. Besides, it's also because of my charm. If I wasn't so capable, would I have been able to befriend them? Chen Xiang hurriedly explained. Even though he had those thoughts, he was a man after all, so it was impossible for him to not have evil intentions when facing beauties. There were a lot of beautiful women by Chen Xiang's side, but the only one who had a relations, HI plus P with him was his real wife, Shui Xianxian. Qianqian, you're getting more and more fragrant. Chen Xiang took a deep breath after he finished speaking. Last time it was all thanks to you helping me. Wu Qianqian smiled. Why are you being so courteous to me? That's what you used to tell me. You are looking down on me in front of me, aren't you? Hua Xiangyue intentionally pouted and said. She knew what Wu Qianqian thought of Chen Xiang, and she could not stop him from doing so. Little girl Xiangyue, are you hinting at me to teach you a lesson? Chen Xiang sent a sound transmission to Hua Xiangyue evilly. Master, I'm so scared. Hua Xiangyue chuckled as she transmitted her voice to Chen Xiang. However, with Wu Qianqian here, he felt a little embarrassed, and suddenly felt that he was the leader. In terms of strength and ident. 1. He should be on equal footing with Hua Xiangyue, the leader, so it wouldn't be a problem to do it openly. Hua Xiangyue had always been the elder Dan, so Wu Qianqian understood the dubious relations Hi+P between her and Qin Xiang in the Super Dan Imperial College the best. Moreover, she had followed Hua Xiangyue for a period of time, so she was very clear about the relations Hi+P between Hua Xiangyue and him. At night, no one else came back, and Qin Xiang, along with Wu Qianqian and the others, discussed the experience they gained from refining pills for an entire day. Although he could only refine high-grade ground-level pills, his experience was extremely valuable to Hua Xiangyue and Wu Qianqian. Wu Qianqian was now able to refine a middle-grade ground-level pill. Previously, Wu Qianqian had obtained a fortuitous encounter, and after eating the mysterious fruit, all aspects of it had increased. Furthermore, there was a white flame heavenly horse. She had also mentioned before that she could rely on the white flame heavenly horse to level up her own fire soul and turn it into a white fire soul. Qin Xiang returned to his room, but his mind was currently filled with the demon's figure. He released his divine power and sent a sound transmission to Hua Xiangyue. "Little flower demon, quickly come and help me take a bath. I'm not going. I'm training with Qianqian, and I've discovered that after my purple moon fire soul and her blue star fire soul fuse, it can help her increase the level of her fire soul." Hua Xiangyue replied, "So that's how it is. If dual cultivation is faster, let me help her." Qin Xiang said sincerely, "Little scoundrel, your mind is filled with this." Hua Xiangyue laughed, "I don't object to the relations Hi+P between you and Qianqian, but you can't force the matter either. A woman's first time is very important. Leave me with a beautiful memory." Hua Xiangyue also knew that Qin Xiang was the more honest one. Although he had interacted with many beauties before, the only ones who truly interacted with him was her and Wu Qianqian. "All right. Wait a moment, I will wait upon you." After Hua Xiangyue finished speaking, he stopped his cultivation and left Wu Qianqian's room, allowing him to cultivate on his own. Inside the bathing area, Qin Xiang and Hua Xiangyue's smooth and jade-like bodies were wrapped around each other as they carelessly rubbed each other's hands. As the two people silently kissed, the flirtatious Hua Xiangyue would occasionally let out a coquettish cry, making Qin Xiang's evil fire burn even more vigorously. Qin Xiang crazily caressed the beautiful woman's flawless body, gasping for breath. "Little demoness, I missed you so much." "Humph, I didn't know that you would be so rude," Hua Xiangyue tenderly shouted, and then the water in the bathing area started to swirl in waves. Hua Xiangyue and Qin Xiang had not made love for a very long time as well, and only after the two of them had played around for a long time did they enter the dual cultivation state. "Little scoundrel, why is your dantian so strange?" Hua Xiangyue laid on Qin Xiang's chest, her slightly flushed and seductive face revealing a shocked expression. After dual cultivating, Hua Xiangyue's cultivation had increased by a lot, and her fire soul had also become a little stronger. She did not know what level Qin Xiang's fire soul was, to actually be able to cause her purple moon fire soul to become so powerful. Qin Xiang hugged the Jade Man and laughed. "This is the benefit of being a pair cultivator. If you go up higher, your purple moon fire soul should be able to turn into a white fire soul. If we come here often, it shouldn't take long." When he dual cultivated, not only would it help Hua Xiangyue improve his strength and quality of fire soul, but because Qin Xiang had the Yulong blood, it would also slowly allow Hua Xiangyue to have the bloodline. At dawn, Hua Xiangyue came out of Qin Xiang's room feeling refreshed. When Wu Qianqian was dancing sword in the courtyard, she saw Hua Xiangyue's face and knew where Hua Xiangyue, who had left last night, had gone to. She did not expect that Hua Xiangyue and Qin Xiang had developed such a relations Hi+P, so she could only sigh in her heart. "Qianqian, this brat has a lot of high-grade ground-level pills ingredients. It's rare to be together with him. You better waste some of his ingredients and refine a high-grade ground-level pill here." Hua Xiangyue tidied up Wu Qianshan's messy hair, as if he was treating his own little sister. Elder sister Xiangyue, you must have slept quite well last night. You must be in such good spirits. Wu Qianshan joked, her beautiful eyes full of flirtatiousness. Stupid girl, you're getting bolder and bolder, Hua Xiangyue said with a red face. Elder sister Xiangyue, I didn't say anything. Why are you being so sensitive? Wu Qianshan laughed. Chen Xiang and Hua Xiangyue had indeed slept soundly last night, especially Chen Xiang. He had been so nervous this entire time, and last night had been his most relaxed night. Chen Xiang walked into the courtyard and saw Hua Xiangyue and Wu Qianshan playing, so he asked, Little girl Xiangyu, what is your relations? Hi plus P with the Purple Moon Imperial Land? C1128. C1128 Hua Xiangyue was from the Purple Moon realm, so Chen Xiang felt that she should have some understanding of the Purple Moon Imperial Land, because the first thing he would do when he returned would be to exterminate the Purple Moon Imperial Land. Purple Moon Imperial Land is originally from the Violet Moon realm. Even though I have a Purple Moon Fire Soul, I have nothing to do with him. You can do whatever you want with him, so don't worry about me. Chen Xiang still had a heavenly core for the Purple Moon. When they were dual cultivating last night, he took the opportunity to give Hua Xiangyue a bit of the Purple Moon's fire soul power, allowing her to become a little stronger. Hua Xiangyue, Dongfang Xinyue and Lu Meng'er were also close to transcending the 9 nirvana tribulations. When they returned to Di Tian, the moment they crossed it, they would be able to fly to Heaven Realm. When that time came, there would be a type of energy that would be sucked into the sacred Dan realm as long as there was no resistance. Hua Xiangyue was an alchemist, so her strength improved even faster than Lu Meng'er and the others. That was why she brought Wu Qianshan out to play, while Hua Xiangyue and the others were cultivating, especially Lu Meng'er, who still had to nurture Xue Xianxian and Leng Yulan. This was also why Lu Meng'er didn't let Xue Xianxian and Ling Yulan stay with him for too long. It was because she didn't have much time, and could only let her 2 disciples inherit her legacy. Therefore, even Lu Meng'er was rarely with Chen Xiang, but there would always be opportunities in the future. This was also what Chen Xiang had agreed upon with Lu Meng'er previously. Let's start by refining the Relive Dan. These are the Relive Dan's medicinal ingredients. There's only 30 or so of them. Take some for now. Chen Xiang took out a storage bag. Hua Xiangyue unceremoniously received it, and said it to Wu Qianshan. Let's go, let's start the refinement now. The 2 of them had just left when Long Huishan, the female Dragon King, returned. They agreed, but they are determined to use weapons to compete with you. The time is set to be 1 month from now. The one you are competing with is a sacred dragon bloodline that has transcended the 7 nirvana tribulations. It is said that their bloodline is very pure. Are you really sure you can win? Long Huishan was very clear that the Holy Dragon Sword could restrain Ice Dragon Sword. If Chen Xiang used Green Dragon Demon Slain Broadsword S at that time, it would definitely be seen through by everyone, because there would be many strong experts watching. 7 tribulations? Chen Xiang snickered in his heart. Obviously he had underestimated. Even if it was a real holy dragon, they would still be beaten to the ground and kneel, although he could not use Green Dragon Demon Slain Broadsword. You don't believe me? If I really win, you have to do something for me. Chen Xiang secretly snorted at the mischievous smile on his face. What is it? Long Huishan guessed that this was definitely not a good thing. Help me investigate the situation of the Fire Divine Palace here. During the last banquet, I felt that there are people from the Fire Divine Palace here. Chen Xiang said softly. This Fire Divine Palace is not a good thing. Long Huishan frowned. Fire Divine Palace isn't a good thing? From what I know, this Fire Divine Palace is extremely mysterious, and I don't know where he is hiding, but our 4 great families used to be a subsidiary power of this Fire Divine Palace, and now, Our Fire Divine Palace is slowly fading away. Furthermore, we don't have any connections with our 4 great families, so I don't have much information on him. Fire Divine Palace really did appear here. Chun Xiang treated the people of the Fire Divine Palace as treasures, because most of the people of the Fire Divine Palace all had fire soul. In another month, you will be sparring with that little demon Sacred Dragon Mountain. On the way, I will ask about that little brat to let you understand your enemy. Long Huishan had just returned and immediately left. However, she was busy with Chen Xiang's matters, otherwise she would have stayed here to cultivate. Chen Xiang ran back to the secret room, and started to condense the creation divine liquid while holding the training sword in his hands. With the power he had gained from practicing immortal devil body, it was hard for him to move the hammer of God, so he could only use genuine chi of universe. This hammer is made of iron, but it's not good here. If this hammer of God was used to beat this house, it might have been ruined. He needed a month to familiarize himself with the hammer. At the very least, it didn't seem like he had to put too much effort into it. All he needed was to be able to move as fast as he wanted. Elder Du, are you bored staying in the Sacred Dan realm? Do you want to go to Di Tian's place? Although the resources there are not as great as here, it is still much more vast. Moreover, if you go there with your strength, you would be invincible. Li Baojun said. He knew that the dragon-subduing school needed this kind of almighty being to refine pills. Brotherly, you are helping Chen Xiang to rope me in, right? Heh. Du Hai had already seen through it. The two of them strolled around some large pill stores and experienced the standards of alchemist here. Alchemist people like them could sometimes see many things from the aroma of pills. Elder Du, are you willing to stop at this stage of Dan Immortal? Li Baojun said. There are 9 grade immortal pills. I am currently a Tier 3 Dan Immortal who can only concoct Tier 3 immortal pills. I would like to advance one step, but I don't know how long it will take. Di Tian still hasn't grown up yet. His resources are too meager. Du Hai shook his head. You're right, but you should know that Chen Xiang is a freak. He can definitely get more high-level medicinal herbs. Don't you think it's strange that he can always get some very high-level medicinal herbs? What's even weirder is that in his eyes, these high-level medicinal herbs are like cabbages. Li Baojun said. Du Hai nodded his head. He also suspected that Chen Xiang had an ability that could quickly grow medicinal herbs. I'll think about it. Du Hai was indeed tired of staying in the Sacred Dan realm, and right now, he and Du Yenyao were the only 2 remaining. As the 2 of them were walking in a hotel, they suddenly heard someone say, "You guys should know that the Sacred Dragon Mountain's second boss lost an arm. Sacred Dragon Mountain seems to have steeled their hearts to obtain the Ice Dragon Sword, and now they have actually teamed up with the Fire Divine Palace, and used the Fire Dragon Sword to make a bet, fighting the red person beside the female Dragon King. Yes, I heard that there was another rumor saying 7 Dragon Sword. Forget about gathering 7 of them, gathering all of them together can already make 2 of them very powerful. Ice Dragon Sword and Fire Dragon Sword are 2 of them. Although it is a battle between 2 Nirvana Realm Prac. 1. Tioniers, it is still very interesting. One is a popular man beside female Dragon King, and the other is a disciple from Sacred Dragon Mountain with extremely pure holy dragon bloodline. It is said that he is the son of the head of Sacred Dragon Mountain. This boss is really amazing. He seems to have a lot of powerful sons. Of course, because he has quite a few beautiful women, haha. The group of animals chatted all the way to the women's side. Li Baojun and Du Hai looked at each other and shook their heads. The red man beside female Dragon King was Chen Xiang, so it was normal for Chen Xiang to get his hands on the Fire Dragon Sword, but the Fire Divine Palace made Li Baojun a little worried. Li Baojun and Du Hai looked at each other and shook their heads. The red man beside female Dragon King was Chen Xiang, So it was normal for Chen Xiang to get his hands on the Fire Dragon sword, but the Fire Divine Palace made Li Baojun a little worried. Elder Du, do you know anything about the Fire Divine Palace? Li Baojun asked in a low voice. I don't know much about it. It's said that it's very powerful in the heaven realm, Du Hai said. The reason why Fire Divine Palace is so powerful is because many of them possess Fire Soul, and there are also some top-tier alchemists. Li Baojun's face was very serious, but they used extremely vicious methods to get their Fire Soul. What do you mean? Du Hai was not very clear about this. What I understand better is the devil-suppressing Divine Palace. Is there such a thing happening in the Fire Divine Palace? Li Baojun said angrily. The Fire Divine Palace has a type of power that can draw another person's Fire Soul. If they did not submit to their Fire Divine Palace, their only fate would be to be selected as a Fire Soul, especially when someone discovered that there was a very good Fire Soul. Therefore, over the years, the Fire Divine Palace has plundered many Fire Souls from various places, specially bestowed them to those who have made great contributions to the body. Du Hai clenched his fists tightly. Extracting another person's Fire Soul was something that made people like him, who had the Fire Soul, feel threatened. Especially something like a very powerful force was doing this. That kid cannot use that blade. If he only uses the Ice Dragon sword, then it will be difficult for him to restrain the Fire Divine Palace. The Fire Divine Palace must have a powerful fire attribute cultivation technique specifically designed to restrain the Ice Dragon sword. Du Hai was a little worried for Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang could not reveal his ident. 1. Tai here, or else he would attract many troubles, and he might even cause the other three great clans, the Sacred Dragon Mountain and the Fire Divine Palace, to attack the Long family. However, what they did not know was that Chen Xiang had long ago obtained the Fire Divine Palace's important cultivation technique, so when facing Fire Divine Palace, Chen Xiang would only smile even more. If the other party had a Fire Soul, that would be equivalent to giving it to him. The White Fire Soul was obtained from the time he killed Mr. W. Ang and left it for Su Meiyao in the future. However, this did not mean that he would stop collecting Fire Souls. Chen Xiang's method of extracting Fire Soul was much more profound than those in the Fire Divine Palace. It was just that the people who had been extracted by him were all dead. After Li Baojun and Du Hai became golden alchemists, they spent their days in the pill cultivating room of the Long family's pill shop. Concocting low-level pills would also help them in mastering their pill refining skills. At night, Chen Xiang would always be in bed with her, the beautiful slave girl. She would overturn the rain and turn the clouds, and it was only until midnight that they started their dual cultivation. She had a better understanding of Chen Xiang's affairs. She knew that Chen Xiang had a very beautiful wife, and there were also quite a few women by his side, but the only one who had an open relations, Hi+P with him was Xue Xianxian. Normally, Hua Xiangyue would call Chen Xiang Jr. Master usually, but at night, it was Chen Xiang who called her Little Fairy. Long Huishan couldn't help but blush when he heard her. Qianqian, this little girl seems to be interested in that little scoundrel. This little scoundrel actually didn't do anything to Qianqian. That doesn't make much sense. Long Huishan lied on his bed and thought random thought. It had already been a few days, but she was still not used to it, because Chen Xiang and Hua Xiangyue were in a room not too far away from her. I already knew that this brat was not a good person. When he looks at women he is always est fool. Could it be that LV Qinlian, the demon empress, was also mesmerized by him? She was an immortal king. How could she be so easy to deal with? Could it be that this brat is really capable? You are indeed capable. You have helped me so much. Without him, I might have already died a long time ago. Not knowing why, the female Dragon King felt very uncomfortable when he thought of Chen Xiang and Hua Xiangyue, who were both in the same room. But in the morning, Chen Xiang and Hua Xiangyue's spirits were at their peak. especially for the little flower demon, Hua Xiangyue. Her beautiful beauty that was nourished to a tender drop caused both her and Wu Qianqian to feel a burst of envy in their hearts. After Hua Xiangyue and Wu Qianqian entered the secret room to refine pills, Long Huishan anxiously grabbed Chen Xiang. Little scoundrel, you still have less than a month before the great battle begins. Every night you would consume yang energy. Aren't you afraid of being beaten to the ground? A knife on the head. Don't blame me for not reminding you when the time comes. Long Huishan was truly thinking for Chen Xiang. He he. Chen Xiang laughed sinisterly. Elder sister, so you were actually so worried about my affairs tonight. I'm really sorry for affecting you. Don't be so talkative. Long Huishan rolled her eyes as she said, that sacred dragon mountain is related to the Fire Divine Palace, so the person you send out at that time can definitely suppress Ice Dragon Sword. You should have saved your energy, not every night. After you win, you can do whatever you want. Big sister, that little flower demon and I are actually dual cultivating. In just a few days, my innate chi has increased by a lot. Chen Xiang laughed. Don't worry about me. Duo cultivation? Long Huishan looked at Chen Xiang suspiciously. I don't believe you. You don't believe me? But you are so much stronger than me, so you can only help me increase it. If your strength is similar to mine, then we can both increase our strength, and not only can we live happily, we can also increase our strength. This is very satisfying. After Chen Xiang finished speaking, he felt a bit of regret. Although the girl in front of him was very beautiful, but she was a very valiant female dragon king. You actually want to hit me, big sister. You little scoundrel, you're asking for a beating. Long Huishan's jade face flushed red, she spat out a mouthful of blood and lightly knocked on Chen Xiang's head. In that case, I shall not say anything else. I will help you continue investigating the matters regarding the Fire Divine Palace. Actually, I still have 2 more recognized sister-s, so when I have the chance to introduce them to you, one of them has white dragon vein and a head of very eye-catching white hair. Furthermore, their surnames are very similar to yours, so when the time comes, this little girl will definitely pester and bring her to fight. Chen Xiang suddenly thought of the 2 recognized sister-s, Ling Yulan and Dongfang Jing. Long Huishan's face suddenly became serious. You're talking about Ling Yulan? I know you have a white-haired beauty. I didn't expect you to have white dragon vein. This is very rare. Are there many people who know about this? They absolutely could not spread it. Otherwise she will be in big trouble. Only you and I know that she might know, but she didn't say that after her bloodline awakened, she should have received the inheritance of memories. She also knows that it's a secret, so she didn't tell me. I was the one who helped her awaken her white dragon vein back then. Chen Xiang suddenly realized that Ling Yulan would be targeted in the future. How about I bring her here and let you watch her? Long Huishan suddenly laughed. You're so worried. She needs some experience. If you protect her like this, it will be hard for her to grow. But I'll teach her when I get the chance. Chen Xiang had originally wanted to talk to LV Qinlian alone, and use the drunk God flower to exchange for some good things. Last time, he had used the magical corruption gas to exchange for a holy lotus seed. Chen Xiang had originally wanted to talk to LV Qinlian alone, and use the drunk God flower to exchange for some good things. Last time, he had used the magical corruption gas to exchange for a holy lotus seed. However, LV Qinlian had not returned after leaving the Long family. Before she left, she told Hua Xiangyue and the others that she had some private matters to attend to. Chen Xiang could only tell LV Qinlian about this matter in the future. What he needed to do now was to get familiar with using the hammer of God as soon as possible, and condense a few more creation divine liquid at the same time. Every night, Chen Xiang and Hua Xiangyue would dual cultivate together. Right now, Chen Xiang and Hua Xiangyue's strength was not too far apart, so the effect of dual cultivation was even better. Another day, it would be the day of the bet between Chen Xiang and Sacred Dragon Mountain, and the day he would fight the man with the fire dragon sword. In the courtyard, Du Hai and Li Baojun were all present, sitting at a round table with the others, listening to Long Huishan talk about his opponent. This man is called Long Yu, the son of the great master of Sacred Dragon Mountain, Long Tingyu. When the time comes, he will bring out his fire dragon sword and use a fire attribute, the power of the holy dragon, and his own flame is extremely powerful. It is said that he can release golden flames, and you are both alchemists. Hua Xiangyue, Wu Qianqian, Du Hai, Li Baojun and Chen Xiang, the 5 of them were all alchemists. When they heard the golden flames, their expressions changed slightly. "Does that guy have a fire soul?" Hua Xiangyue asked. "Not before. He only got it in a few years. I suspect that this is because I have interacted with the Fire Divine Palace before. I wonder what they used to exchange for the golden fire soul with the Fire Divine Palace." During this time, Long Huishan had also investigated about the Fire Divine Palace, but it was very difficult to find any detailed things. But he knew that the Fire Divine Palace had already been in contact with the Sacred Dragon Mountain since a long time ago. Gold Fire Soul. Chen Xiang's heart was thumping hard. This was something even higher level than the White Fire Soul. He never thought that he would meet it. He felt that not only would he win against the Fire Dragon Sword, he might even be able to obtain the Golden Fire Soul. Fire Divine Palace, Fire Divine Palace, you are my soul-gathering pellet. Chen Xiang snickered in his heart. If someone from the Fire Divine Palace were to meet him, they would be ripped off completely. Long Huishan looked at Du Hai and Li Baojun and said, "You two, please pay more attention to tomorrow's compet." 1 Tian. I'm worried that something might happen. In order to prevent us from cheating, Sacred Dragon Mountain will publicly compete at that time. The other 3 great families will be watching from the sidelines. Li Baojun said, "Leader, when the time comes, don't tell me you plan to use a green dragon demon-slain broadsword?" When those fellows saw this blade, they would definitely want it for themselves. Chen Xiang laughed. "Absolutely not. I will beat that guy fair and square, and that guy is not worthy for me to use my green dragon demon-slain broadsword. Forget about Hammer of G.O.D.S. Just with Slaughter G.O.D.'s hand alone, Chen Xiang could deal with them." What Chen Xiang was more concerned about was how he could take away the Golden Fire Soul in front of so many rankers, but that could not be done until tomorrow. Speaking of which, I don't think I've seen your fair and square compet. 1 Tian before. I hope that I'll be able to see it tomorrow. Du Hai laughed. Everyone laughed. They had indeed rarely seen Chen Xiang using his strongest power before, so they were really looking forward to seeing it. In the morning of the second day, Hua Xiangyue woke up early. However, his beautiful jade body was currently being hugged by Chen Xiang, and in the past month, he had been sleeping soundly. Hua Xiangyue pushed Chen Xiang to wake him up, then very gently helped him to get dressed. "Little scoundrel, even though you know that you're going to compete today, you're still fighting so late." Hua Xiangyue pouted. "Isn't it to relax?" Chen Xiang laughed and pinched Hua Xiangyue's big jade rabbit. Seeing Chen Xiang and Hua Xiangyue flirting as they walked out of the room, Long Huishan looked at Chen Xiang with extreme contempt. Right now, she and the others were extremely worried about Chen Xiang, but this little bastard was still carefree and happy at such a critical juncture. The place for the compet. 1 Tian was the plaza in the sacred city. The contest ring had already built it. Not only was it a life and death battle, it was also a compet. 1 Tian between 2 Long family members. The one who lost would very likely lose his life and the dragon sword, so the price he paid would be extremely heavy. The Sacred Dragon Mountain needed this compet. 1 Tian to establish his might, because the current master of the Long family was Long Huishan. He was a female dragon king, and was even stronger than the head of the Long family, so he had already broken free from the control of the sacred dragon mountain. If it was in the past, the Long family would more or less have to give him some face, and the sacred dragon mountain would also be able to obtain huge benefits from the Long family. The Long family also needed this kind of compet. 1. Tie-in. As long as they won, they could ruthlessly trample over the sacred dragon mountain. One must know that previously, the second leader of the sacred dragon mountain was already beaten up by Long Huishan. Below the stage, Chen Xiang and Long Huishan had arrived, while the other side only sent a few old men to bring Long Yu here, as though they did not put the Long family in their eyes at all and did not need their boss to step in. You are Yun Fei? Long Yu was surrounded by a large number of people, but no matter how he looked at it, he didn't think that the guy in front of him was that strong. Chen Xiang also looked at him. This Long Yu looked a little skinny, probably because of his golden robes. He had the standard face of a rich family's child. His handsome and fair face was filled with an arrogant expression. Of course, what Chen Xiang paid the most attention to was not his outer appearance, but the golden red sword in his hand, the fire dragon sword inside its sheath. Although the sword was not unsheathed, he could still feel the raging fire inside the fire dragon sword. The other thing he was concerned about was the fire soul in Long Yu's body, which he was more concerned about. When he used the Chaos Divine Eye to look at him, he saw that Long Yu's body had a ball of extremely strong golden flames within it. This is the famous person beside Female Dragon King. At such a young age, I really wonder what kind of ability does he have to actually be able to pull out that Ice Dragon sword. Female Dragon King said many times that he and the Ice Dragon sword were fated, that's why he gave the Ice Dragon sword to him. That's why the Female Dragon King is able to become the Female Dragon King and receive the inheritance of their frozen dragon ancestor. Long Yu saw that Chen Xiang did not take out the Ice Dragon sword, so he asked, "Where is your Ice Dragon sword? Don't you plan on using the Ice Dragon sword to fight me?" Chen Xiang said, "There's also no rule saying that I must use the Ice Dragon sword to fight you." Long Yu said coldly, "Don't hide inside the storage magic treasure. If you die, what if the storage magic treasure cannot be obtained?" Chen Xiang took out the Ice Dragon sword and casually threw it to Long Huishan, saying, "You can relax now." Chen Xiang took out the Ice Dragon sword and casually threw it to Long Huishan, saying, "You can relax now." He actually did not plan to use the Ice Dragon sword. Long Huishan, who had just received the Ice Dragon sword, was also startled. She pulled out the Ice Dragon sword and confirmed that it was real. Everyone could feel the cold qi. Long Yu secretly cursed in his heart. He had spent a lot of effort during this month to practice methods and techniques of restraining the Ice Dragon sword, but Chen Xiang suddenly said that he didn't need the Ice Dragon sword. How arrogant! This is a life and death battle. You don't have to use Ice Dragon sword, you can die faster. Long Yu looked at the Ice Dragon sword. Not only do I want to obtain the Ice Dragon sword, I also want to chop you into pieces. Of course, if you kneel down and beg for forgiveness, I might spare your life. Chen Xiang ignored him and walked into the contest ring. Long Huishan had already sent a sound transmission to him earlier, where the head of the sacred dragon mountain was right around the corner. "Long Yu, you just said that you want to kill me. At that time, don't blame me for being ruthless." Chen Xiang secretly became ruthless. Even if Long Yu's father was nearby, he would not hold back. Long Yu also walked into the contest ring, after which a few elders laid down a barrier to prevent it from being spread outside during the battle inside. "You all should know the rules, right? Let's begin now," Long Huishan said. Long Yu slowly pulled out the fire dragon sword S, red flames continuously coming out from the sword sheath, and the sword body was covered with dense flames. When the fire dragon sword was completely unsheathed, it immediately spewed out a wave of heat that spread out in all directions. Although it was not as powerful as the green dragon demon-slain broadsword, but Chen Xiang was impressed with it in his heart, and that sword could really suppress the Ice Dragon Sword and could even defend against their icy cold power. After seeing the true face of the Fire Dragon Sword, the spectators on the plaza all sighed in admiration. This was because it seemed like he was much stronger than the Ice Dragon Sword, and his aura was stronger than the Ice Dragon Sword's. Everyone thought that if the legendary divine weapons did not appear, it would be difficult to find a weapon that could compare to Fire Dragon Sword. Chen Xiang's cultivation was lower than Long Yu's, and since Long Yu was from the sacred Dragon Mountain and had the bloodline of the Holy Dragon, it would not be easy for him to win this fight empty-handed. Chen Xiang didn't plan to fight with Long Yu empty-handed. He had practiced for more than a month with this iron hammer, precisely for today. Thus, under tens of thousands of pairs of eyes, he took out the black hammer. Seeing this black hammer, everyone's eyes nearly fell out of their socket. They thought that they had seen wrongly. Hammer. Hammer. Is there something wrong with this brat? Does he want to compete with other people's Fire Dragon Sword with hammers? He can't be serious. It looks like he's really serious. Li Baojun and Du Hai were also shocked. The fact that Chen Xiang used a hammer to fight was beyond their expectations. Sister Xiangyue, what is Chen Xiang doing? Wu Qianqian and Hua Xiangyue, who had disguised themselves, were hidden in the crowd. How should I know? This little bastard never told me that he would use a hammer to fight, but looking at his serious look, he shouldn't be joking. Hua Xiangyue said. Long Huishan stomped his feet on the ground anxiously. Brat, you don't need the Ice Dragon Sword, yet you use a broken hammer. What are you doing? It will definitely kill you. Is the Ice Dragon Sword not as good as your broken hammer? Chen Xiang really wanted to tell her that Ice Dragon Sword could not compare to this hammer. If he had sufficient strength, he could probably smash the Ice Dragon Sword with his hammer. Elder sister, just watch. This hammer of mine is a delay hammer. You should be worried that I might smash that Fire Dragon Sword to pieces. Chen Xiang replied with sound transmission. He himself was worried about this. Long Yu thought that Chen Xiang was belittling him after seeing him fight with a broken hammer. Although he was a little angry in his heart, he started laughing loudly. If you're not courting death, you won't die. Who do you think you are? Would any one of them be able to beat me? Isn't it just luck that allowed you to pull out Ice Dragon Sword? Do you really think you're the immortal king? Using a Fire Dragon Sword to kill you is truly an insult to this sword. As soon as Long Yu finished speaking, his entire person released a golden red flame, like a burning dragon. He soared and danced towards Chen Xiang. At the same time, he waved his sword fiercely. The moment he pulled out his sword, it was extremely shocking. The power of the holy dragon transformed into a gold flame that erupted from the Fire Dragon Sword, igniting a golden red flame, instantly enveloping the entire contest ring. This sword was very, very strong, like a golden bolt of lightning, striking towards Chen Xiang's head. Chen Xiang bellowed. He raised the black divine hammer with all his might, and swung it towards the Fire Dragon Sword. His speed was not slow. It had to be known that he had worked hard to practice wielding the divine hammer. He had cultivated it countless of times. As long as he thought about where the hammer was going to go, the hammer in his hand would instantly follow his will. Boom! In the instant that the Fire Dragon Sword slashed down, the divine hammer suddenly smashed over. The violent collision actually caused a heaven-shaking explosion. The Fire Dragon Sword was struck by the divine hammer and burst out into sparks. It was as brilliant as fireworks. This was the first time Chen Xiang had used his divine hammer in a battle, and furthermore, he had not imbued it with any power. He had only used his flesh power to wield the hammer. The Fire Dragon Sword almost flew out of Long Yu's hands due to the burst of power from the hammer strike. Everyone could see that if not for Long Yu suddenly holding onto it with both of his hands, the Fire Dragon Sword would have fallen out of his hands. So powerful, I feel like I can smash this fire dragon sword. Chen Xiang suddenly had this impulse. When he felt the power of the hammer, he wanted to crazily destroy it until it shattered. The entire plaza became as quiet as a graveyard. That lousy hammer was actually this powerful? Now, no one mocked Chen Xiang for using this broken hammer to fight anymore. This hammer was hacked ruthlessly by the fire dragon sword, and not a single spark jumped out. The fire dragon sword is only SOSO. Chen Xiang's face was full of disdain. This time, it was his turn to attack, as he directly traveled through SPAC, appearing behind the frightened and furious Long Yu. Chen Xiang raised the divine hammer, and smashed down fiercely towards Long Yu. Long Yu did not expect Chen Xiang to appear behind him in an instant, so he immediately dodged, but Chen Xiang's hammer still smashed onto the arm that was holding the sword heavily. That strike would never be forgotten by the spectators for the rest of their lives. After Long Yu's arm was smashed, it was forcibly torn apart by that wild and violent power, turning into mincemeat that splattered out. Long Yu's fire dragon sword had been knocked down, but Chen Xiang pursued him relentlessly, appearing beside Long Yu like a ghost and smashed it with his hammer again. Long Yu's fire dragon sword had been knocked down, but Chen Xiang pursued him relentlessly, appearing beside Long Yu like a ghost and smashed it with his hammer again. Long Yu's arm was in pain, his movements were affected, he was unable to dodge, and his shoulder was struck by Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang now felt that this delay hammer was much bloodier than the green dragon demon-slain broadsword. With this hammer strike, it was as if Long Yu's shoulder was forcibly peeled off. In Chen Xiang's eyes, Long Yu was just a gift to him. He saw it enough, with his 5 fingers held together, like a sharp awl, he directly pierced into Long Yu's heart. He then activated devouring magic kung fu, and in a split second, he absorbed the other party's golden fire soul, and condensed it inside his dantian. Honorable son! An angry voice boomed, shaking the entire field. This was Long Tingyu's voice, the great leader of the sacred Dragon Mountain, the #1 expert. At the same time, Long Huishan also jumped up, and rushed towards the shadow that was flying over. Her body shone with white light, and a set of domineering ice armor appeared. After Chen Xiang obtained the golden fire soul, he was no longer hesitant. He swung his hammer hard at Long Yu's head, releasing a burst of berserk flames. The power of the divine hammer exploded outwards as it enveloped Long Yu. With a schwa sound, the moment Long Yu was smashed to pieces, he was instantly burnt to ashes. Following that, Chen Xiang's swift sword aura and sword sheath clashed against a middle-aged man with a short beard. The middle-aged man's face was filled with anger, and the golden robe on his body was exuding true the power of the holy dragon. Aren't you willing to admit defeat? This is a fair and square combat. 1 Tian. Long Huishan said coldly, but she was secretly surprised. She did not expect Chen Xiang to be able to take care of Long Yu so easily, and he did not even have much time to use the innate qi. She just did not know how terrifying Chen Xiang's body was. Only Hua Xiangyuan knew the terror of Chen Xiang's strong and dy body. Even if Chen Xiang did not use the innate qi, just his body alone was sufficient to make him invincible within the same level of power, let alone using that god-like hammer. Just you wait. Long Tingyu was furious. Not only had his outstanding son died, but he had also been looked down upon by a little girl. Yo, the #1 expert of the sacred Dragon Mountain, actually couldn't afford to lose. I truly regret competing with you guys, and have disgrace towards my status. Long Huishan scoffed. Regret and sacred Dragon Mountain's compet. 1 Tian? If he had to regret it, it should be sacred Dragon Mountain who regretted it, right? He had lost the fire dragon sword and died in battle, but he had also lost face for Long Yu. Long Tingyu was so angry that his entire body was trembling. He got everyone to quickly disperse. Suddenly, a few fire figures flashed towards Long Tingyu. 5 old men wearing cannons appeared. They stood side by side with Long Tingyu in the sky. It looked like they were all very strong. Humph! The 5 armored elders snorted at the same time. A red fire energy wave surged towards Long Huishan. Long Huishan dodged hurriedly, but he was still a little too slow. The ice armor on his body had been melted away. 6 immortal kings, are you trying to bully a woman together? Du Hai suddenly appeared in the sky and laughed coldly. It's still the Fire Divine Palace. Are you going to destroy the Long family? Who are you? Don't meddle in other people's business, or we'll kill you too. An old man from Fire Divine Palace said. We don't care about that. Today we must take back the Ice Dragon Sword S and the Fire Dragon Sword S. Unless the Long family can hand them over, the Long family will definitely be killed. Another old man from Fire Divine Palace looked at Chen Xiang, who was on the ground. Long Huishan was afraid that Chen Xiang would be attacked, and hurried to his side. Chen Xiang took the Ice Dragon Sword from Long Huishan's hands and shouted to the people high up in the sky. I will give you all a chance. If you all don't leave, I will summon the Ice Dragon, and when that time comes, all of you will die. Chen Xiang didn't want to waste this move on these fellows, because he only had one chance to summon the Ice Dragon's avatar. At this time, a few more people appeared beside Long Tingyu, all of them strong warriors from the Sacred Dragon Mountain. Brat, stop bluffing and hand over the Ice Dragon Sword. We can let bygones be bygones. An old man said. Bulls. Hi+T, the Long family gifted the Ice Dragon Sword to me. I won the Fire Dragon Sword from the guy who beat me. What do you mean by letting bygones be bygones? This is all fair and square, but you fellows can't afford to lose. Chen Xiang held onto the Ice Dragon Sword tightly and continued. I gave you guys a chance. Since you guys are not listening, then I will send you all on your way. Chen Xiang held onto the Ice Dragon Sword, and channeled his divine power inside. Very quickly, he could sense the avatar left behind by the Ice Dragon inside the Ice Dragon Sword. Senior Long Han, it's me. There are a few fellows who want to destroy the Long family and SN. ATC. The Ice Dragon Sword S. We can't beat them. Chen Xiang hastily transmitted with his divine soul. I'll be right out, Long Han said. Chen Xiang immediately raised the Ice Dragon Sword high up. An array of white light suddenly sprayed out from the Ice Dragon Sword, covering the entire plaza in ice and snow. Following that, a gigantic ice dragon slowly appeared, and at the same time, a spatial seal appeared, sealing the entire plaza. The ice dragon appeared. Long Huishan's mouth was wide open. She had thought that Chen Xiang was just trying to scare him, but she didn't expect him to actually call out the ice dragon. Everyone was shocked, especially the patriarchs of the other 3 great families and the experts of Fire Divine Palace. They were all immortal kings, but the strength of this ice dragon far surpassed theirs. The dragon that appeared in the sky seemed to have been carved out of ice. Its huge body even emitted an icy white mist. It was extremely shocking. After the ice dragon appeared, it immediately transformed into a human. It was a middle-aged man wearing white clothes. It's those guys. Kill them all. Chen Xiang shouted. His voice made the faces of the Fire Divine Palace and his men turn ashen. Bullying my ice dragon bloodline? Even if the Holy Dragon's Dragon Emperor comes, I will still annihilate him. With a wave of his hands, a wave of white ice and snow surged towards the group of people like a tidal wave. Although they were just the incarnations of the ice dragon, they were still extremely powerful. The people of Fire Divine Palace and the Sacred Dragon Mountain were still acting arrogantly earlier, but they were currently fleeing in fear, but they could not escape the spatial enchantment. Furthermore, they were quickly covered by the wave of ice and snow. With just a single strike, those people turned into ice sculptures. After falling from the sky and SMAs, HI plussing into the ground, they turned into pieces of ice. Chen Xiang was a little regretful in his heart. Those experts of the Fire Divine Palace should all have decent fire soul, but they were all destroyed. After the ice dragon destroyed these people, it immediately disappeared. Now that the holy city was quiet again, everyone was scared pale. When the ice dragon made its move, its ice-cold aura seemed to have come from H.E.L. itself, causing them to think that the entire city would be destroyed. Let's go. Chen Xiang let out a small sigh. He was feeling pity for the fire soul. The astonished Long Huishan didn't even have time to greet her ice dragon ancestral founder before the ice dragon disappeared. She brought Chen Xiang and quickly returned to the Long family's residence. At this moment, everyone in the sacred city was extremely terrified of the Long family, to think that they would be able to invite the ice dragon's ancestral founder out. After returning to the Long family's residence, Long Huishan was filled with suspicions as he quickly asked about what had happened. After returning to the Long family's residence, Long Huishan was filled with suspicions as he quickly asked about what had happened. Can Ice Dragon's sword really summon the Ice Dragon's ancestral founder? What exactly is going on? Long Huishan still could not believe it. If it was like this, then wouldn't be an invincible existence? Hua Xiangyue, Du Hai and the others looked at Chen Xiang, waiting for his reply. Just now, they had all seen the appearance of the ice dragon with their own eyes. Actually, it can only be used once. It was worth it just now, killing so many immortal kings. I think the sacred dragon mountain should not have any experts guarding there. Sister Long, take your people and go and destroy the sacred dragon mountain. He could only use it once. Everyone was unavoidably disappointed. If he could use it limitlessly, then Chen Xiang would definitely be very powerful. However, others can only use it once, so this must be kept a secret. Right now, many people think that Ice Dragon's sword can summon out ice dragons, so they do not dare to have any intentions of fighting against the Long family. Hee. Chen Xiang laughed. LV Qinlian had returned at this time, but she had actually returned with wounds all over her body. What's going on? How did you get so hurt? Long Huishan hurriedly stepped forward to support LV Qinlian. The reason LV Qinlian could become the Demon Empress was not because of his strength, and he also knew how to use poison. To be able to make her into such a state, he must be a very strong person. Chen Xiang immediately took out some of the healing liquid that he refined with his own blood and dripped it onto LV Qinlian's wound. Seeing those wounds flash, H.I. plus ing with a faint purple L.U.S.ter, he frowned and asked, "What poison is this?" LV Qinlian's face was extremely pale, and she could only shake her head. At this time, Du Hai had also taken out a detoxifying immortal pill and gave it to her. A large amount of poison aura has ACCU. Mulat within her body. I'll force it out for her. Long Huishan activated his innate qi and channeled it into LV Qinlian's body, sealing the poison in her body and preventing it from spreading. Then, LV Qinlian started to circulate his qi and turned it into steam and forced it out of his body. The people from the Saint Demon Realm and the Saint Demon Realm are here. Everyone be careful, don't clash with them, they're very powerful. The weakened LV Qinlian finally spoke. Under everyone's help, LV Qinlian finally stabilized his injuries, but it was still very serious. The sacred Dan realm was very strange. After the Great War between three realms had started, the two higher realms called the Holy Demon Realm and the Holy Demon Realm had fused together. Furthermore, they had acted before, and it was also because of the invasion of the Holy Demon Realm and the Holy Demon Realm that the Super Yuan Mountain did not rule over the Sacred Dan Realm there. However, from the looks of it, Saint Devil Realm and Saint Demon Realm had discovered the other half of the Sacred Dan Realm and even sent out their experts. If not, with LV Qinlian's strength, he wouldn't have suffered such heavy injuries. We need to return to D Tian quickly, otherwise, it will be difficult for us to return in the future. This is because the Holy Demon Realm and the group of demons from the Holy Demon Realm are going to destroy the sacred sacrificed altar. If we, the experts who have come to the sacred Dan realm, are missing, Dtion would very likely be taken over by the evil demons. As LV Chinlian refined the pellet Du Hai gave him, he said, "The reason why I went out earlier was to look for the sacred demon realm here, to see the civilization of the sacred demon realm. However, this was beyond my expectations, because all the demons of the sacred demon realm had become extremely evil, and could be sified as evil demons. I was accidentally discovered by them and fought against them in the end. I killed 3 demon kings and 2 demon kings, but it was that very evil demon who injured me. Fortunately, I was saved by a single person." Li Baojun said, "It looks like we need to return to the sacred sacrificed altar quickly. If we can't go back to Dtion, something terrible will definitely happen there." Although there was still a long period of time before the promise of 10 years, they couldn't afford to do so. They had to return no matter what, and if the sacred sacrificed altar was destroyed, it would be difficult to do so. Hua Xiangyue sighed. "I'm not going back. Qianqian, you should remember the things I taught you before, right? If there's anything you don't understand, ask those elders. They will help you. You must remember, before flying to Heaven Realm, you must find a good successor so that Dan Fragrance Pure Land can continue to operate." "You're not leaving?" Chen Xiang was immediately disappointed. He had heard Hua Xiangyue say before that she was going to the Heaven Realm. "No need, I have an appointment with Meng Air and the Warm Moon to fly to Sacred Dan Realm. I will stay here for a while." Hua Xiangyue shook his head. Elder sister Xiangyue. Although they would still meet in the future, it would still take a very long time for Wu Qianqian to carry Hua Xiangyue. "I will take good care of her. You all should hurry up and leave," Long Huishan said. She knew that Chen Xiang had built his own force in Dtion, and it was just starting. If she didn't go back, those who followed him would be very disappointed. Hua Xiangyue saw Chen Xiang's unwillingness to part and laughed. "You and I are not even children, there is nothing to worry about." "All right, I will go to Heaven Realm as soon as possible," Chen Xiang said with a determined gaze, and then took out a storage bag. "These are Fire Phoenix Purple Gold, as well as some artifact forging materials that I have collected. Pass them to Elder Sister Menger and Warm Moon for me." LV Chinlian's injuries had improved a lot, and he immediately escorted them through the Sea of Fire to the Sacred Dan Realm on the other side. "Sister Long, help me keep this Ice Dragon sword for the time being. I won't be able to use it now anyway." Chen Xiang had only given the Ice Dragon sword to LV Chinlian, but he had kept the sword sheath for himself since he still needed to open the treasure chest. "Wait till you gather all the 7 dragons' sword before coming to find me. At that time, we'll see what kind of miracle happens." Long Huishan laughed, and then hugged Chen Xiang for a while. "Take good care of that little girl," he said. "Let her smoothly pass through the 9th tribulation." "I know. Come back in the future when you have the chance." After that, Du Hai, Li Baojun and the others bade farewell to Long Huishan and left for Sacred Dan City. What made Chen Xiang and the others surprised was that the Sacred Dan Realm over here was in chaos. The Saint Devil Realm and the Saint Demon Realm had both fought to this point, and they had a conflict with the great powers here. Chen Xiang and the others quickly arrived at the Zilan Mountain Valley. What he did not expect was that the White Tiger was actually here. "This Great Elder, why are you here?" Chen Xiang swept his eyes across them and saw the otherworldly Xue Xianxian and the white-haired beauty Ling Yulan, but they were not Lu Menger or Dongfang Xinyue. Bai Xing, Yunzhu, Yan Xilan and the others were not here. "Where's Yanyao?" Du Hai asked anxiously, because he did not see his own granddaughter, Du Yanyao. Xue Xianxian threw himself into Chen Xiang's embrace, and said with a little sadness, "Master and the others went to the Heaven Realm." Chen Xiang hugged Xue Xianxian and asked softly, What's going on? Mu Jialan is also no longer Yao Shumi? Could it be that they also went to the heaven realm? Wu Qianqian asked. Ling Yulan nodded and said, they went. Originally, it was Master and Warm Moon Sis who ascended, but for some reason, a very large spatial rift appeared, and then they flew up together. Ling Yulan nodded and said, they went. Originally, it was Master and Warm Moon Sis who ascended, but for some reason, a very large spatial rift appeared, and then they flew up together. Although Jingjing hasn't reached the realm of ascension, she ordered me to follow her aunt, so she went over as well. Yao Shumi and Mu Jialan, the mother and daughter pair, felt that there was nothing much to miss about Di Tian's Peach Blossom Imperial Land. Then what about Yen Xilan and the other 4 sisters? It's over? Chen Xiang never thought that these girls would actually go to the heaven realm together. At this time, the White Tiger said, I was the one who suggested Bai Xing go to the heaven realm. For these girls, going to the heaven realm together is not a bad thing, as it gives them enough strength to protect themselves. Yen Yao going to the heaven realm is good too, since the sacred Dan realm is so dangerous now. Du Hai sighed. Elder Du, are you going to follow us to Di Tian? Li Baojun invited again. No, I still plan to stay in the sacred Dan realm. I'm used to staying here, maybe I'll take a look in the future. Du Hai waved his hand. Chen Xiang's heart was filled with unexplainable worries, but he could not rush too. He had to consolidate Di Tian's foundations. Let's go to sacred sacrificed altar. The demons from the Saint Devil realm and the Saint Demon realm are going to destroy the sacred sacrificed altar. We have to move quickly, and it would be best if we gathered the others as soon as possible. When they were coming over, Du Hai had already sent someone to inform Huang Jintian and the others that he believed they would be able to reach sacred sacrificed altar soon. With the White Tiger here, he should be able to open the sacred sacrificed altar and return to Di Tian. They all received the notification from Huang Jintian and the others, so they immediately rushed over. In the short period of time they had spent in Sacred Dan Realm, they had also fished out a lot of things, but those demon leaders were not that happy, because they did not receive a large amount of resources. We've been tricked by those ancient powers. The patriarch of the devil race scolded. Those fellows are all dead. They have occupied the most resources in Di Tian. As long as you guys have the strength to return, you can annihilate their homes. As long as it doesn't harm the commoners, you can take the resources. The one who spoke was the patriarch of the Lan clan. They should be here soon. Are we the only ones who can open the altar? An old man asked. Leave that to us, Chen Xiang said. Who didn't know that the great clan elder of the dragon subduing school was very strong. Furthermore, the White Tiger had also said that he could open the sacred sacrificed altar and return to Di Tian. There were many people on the way back, but there was less than half of them. Just when everyone was waiting for the White Tiger to activate the sacred sacrificed altar, a group of demons suddenly appeared in the distance. These demons looked ferocious, and roared as they charged forward, with the leaders of the demons being extremely powerful. It was that guy who injured me. LV Qinlian pointed to the leading man in white robes. It's a Saint Devil. I didn't expect you to survive. The White Tiger took a deep breath. Saint Devil. Previously, the White Tiger had said that saints were existences between gods and immortals, and some of the experts here also knew about the Sage Devil's existence. Hearing the White Tiger's words, everyone was astonished. When the white-robed man saw the White Tiger activating the sacred sacrificed altar, a ray of black light shot out from afar. It was extremely terrifying. The White Tiger let out a loud roar and shot out a black light from its mouth, directly dissolving the white-clothed man's attack. Who are you? The white-robed man was extremely surprised. As a Saint Devil, his attack had been easily neutralized. At this time, the sacred sacrificed altar was already flashed. Hi+ing with multicolored light. The White Tiger did not reply him, and with fled cry, it completely opened the sacred sacrificed altar, leaving the sacred Dan realm. Everyone let out a long sigh of relief, but they were even more shocked by the white tiger's strength. It could actually fight with the holy demon king, and at this moment, everyone was even more afraid of the great clan elder of the dragon subduing school. After a white light flashed in front of their eyes, they arrived at the sacred sacrificed altar outside. However, this sacred sacrificed altar was currently surrounded by a large group of evil demon and demons. We will return to the demon charming association first, they won't be able to stop us. LV Chinlian said to the two mature beautiful women beside him, then leaped into the air. At this moment, everyone had already returned to their respective forces because the demons had attacked them. They were in a hurry to return and see what was going on. Master, you have to help Xian and the others more. They just took over divine weapons, heavenly country and the others. Chen Xiang said to Huang Jintian. Brother, right now, I'm the leader of the icy wind valley, you don't have to worry about me. Ling Yulan's face was filled with the light of slaughter. Husband, I will look after her. You don't have to worry about us, but you have to take care of yourself. The situation is so complicated. When demons attack human realm, they would definitely want to SNATCH your green dragon demon slain broadsword in case you cause too much damage to them. Shui Xianxian said with concern. Xianxian, you've grown up a lot. Chen Xiang caressed Shui Xianxian's mature and elegant face and laughed. Shui Xianxian, Ling Yulan, Wu Qianqian, these three women followed Huang Jintian and left, returning to the Chen martial continent. Now, many demons had rushed up to the sacred sacrificed altar, but Chen Xiang, Li Baojun and the white tiger were still up there. I didn't expect it to change so fast. Looking at the demons that were charging towards him from all sides, the white tiger couldn't help but sigh and say, Evil demon has the most people, and they are also the easiest to incite. I didn't expect the entire Heaven Thunder City to fall into enemy hands. Not only was that group of traitors wiped out the entire sacred Dan realm, they even brought all of the powerhouses of D Tian's forces to the sacred Dan realm, causing them to be unable to find any powerful warriors there. That's why the demon and devil realms got the chance. Although Li Baojuan's plan in the sacred Dan realm was broken, he still reaped a lot of benefits, especially from Du Hai's pointers. It was the same for Wu Qianqian and her brother. Both of them had received Du Hai's guidance, which helped them avoid taking many detours. Amongst these evil demon, there were quite a few who were holding on to broken limbs and were plussing over. Chen Xiang shouted angrily, These people! The furious Chen Xiang clenched his fists. Suddenly a translucent white light barrier appeared, enveloping the surrounding spirit demon beings of sacred sacrificed altar, his body rippling with extremely strong spatial energy. Li Baojun and White Tiger only knew that Chen Xiang had the ability to travel through SPAC after fusing with a spatial profound pearl, and didn't know how strong his attack power was. They had thought that the spatial profound pearl didn't have any attack power, but it seemed that his attack power wasn't weak at all. SPAC separate. Chen Xiang bellowed, his body erupting with a burst of extremely berserk spatial energy. The sinister bodies of the demons that were enveloped by the light barrier that he had released suddenly crumbled into multiple pieces. All the demons and monsters that were ing over were instantly sliced apart by Chen Xiang's spatial energy. Li Baojun and the White Tiger were secretly surprised in their hearts. An attack using the power of SPAC was actually this powerful. After the countless spirit demons were sliced apart, Li Baojun revealed his hand, and the ground suddenly erupted with raging fire, burning the spirit demons' corpses into ashes. After the countless spirit demons were sliced apart, Li Baojun revealed his hand, and the ground suddenly erupted with raging fire, burning the spirit demons' corpses into ashes. Just as they were about to leave, the sacred sacrificed altar suddenly trembled. Someone is trying to teleport from there. It should be that Saint Devil from before. The white tiger was shocked. It anxiously stomped his feet and released his powerful energy, shattering the sacred sacrificed altar beneath his feet. There is a Saint Devil over there. Elder Du and the others should be fine, right? Elder Sister Long, Xiangyue and the others are also over there. Chen Xiang was extremely worried. Don't worry, there are powerful human beings in the sacred Dan realm. With the existence of the Pill Saint, this kind of guy is very scary. The white tiger patted Chen Xiang's shoulder. After the white tiger went to sacred Dan realm, it wandered around sacred Dan realm. He should have seen those strong warriors before. Let's return to the dragon subduing city. Chen Xiang and the others could only fly back because the Heaven Thunder City's transmission array was already destroyed. On the way, Chen Xiang asked, "Senior, you have exchanged blows with the Dragon Emperor, how is his strength?" When the Dragon Emperor appeared, he wanted to attack Lu Menger and the others. Fortunately, the white tiger had appeared in time. He hasn't reached the level of 10 Heaven's Supreme Lord back then, but he will be soon. In the future, he might very likely be a new 10 Heavens Supreme Lord. The white tiger said, "Although your potential is great, you won't be able to catch up to him in a short period of time." Then what about the holy demons? What is their strength compared to the Dragon Emperor? Chen Xiang asked again. The Dragon Emperor is stronger than the Saint Devil, the white tiger said. After overcoming the 9 Nirvana tribulations, one will reach the immortal realm, which is divided into the worldly immortal stage, the immortal monarch realm, and the immortal king realm. Each stage was further divided into the front, middle and late stages. Furthermore, there were many realms above the immortal realm. If he were to claim to be the emperor, then his power would reach its peak. If he doesn't claim to be an emperor, then call himself an sky sovereign. He is more famous than everyone else in the devil-suppressing heavenly venerable. This fellow is a human being that I admire more. Although he has very powerful powers, he doesn't have the ambition to become an emperor. I just don't know where devil-suppressing heavenly venerable went. If he really went to a higher realm, then that would be a pity. A higher realm? Chen Xiang had already known before that it would be difficult for the ice dragons to survive there, and this was indeed the case. However, in order to obtain an even stronger power, it was necessary to go to a higher realm. Although Chen Xiang was his disciple, he did not know where exactly Huang Jintian came from. On the way, the three of them saw that the human realm was filled with demons. These demons were extremely brutal. They had fought their way here, and had even spat out some words to some of the demon leaders, requesting them to quickly retreat, otherwise there would not even be a chance for negotiation, and they would still attack. Many of the demons had tried to fly in or crawl in, but to no avail. They were all bounced back by the great array of the dragon subduing city, and as for the evil dragon graveyard at the side, they had lost the lives of many demons. When Chen Xiang and the others came back, it made Yen Yenran and Lan Lan feel much more relaxed. Now that Chen Xiang and Li Baojun had already taken over, they let Zhu Rong and the others go and rest. At this time, the white tiger was also leaving. There weren't many experts left in Ditian. Chen Xiang and Li Baojun could handle it easily, and with Chen Xiang and the white tiger together, he had gained a lot. Before leaving, Bai Hu brought the people of the white tiger fighting race to clear away the demons outside of the dragon subduing city. This also helped Chen Xiang and the others save a lot of trouble. Everyone go and rest first. You've all worked hard, so there's nothing to worry about right now. As long as those demons dare to come, we'll destroy them as many as we can. If not for the Holy Demon Realm and the Holy Demon Realm messing up his plans, he would still be carrying out his plans inside the Sacred Dan Realm. It was fortunate that he got the ingredients for a high-grade ground-level pellet from the Sacred Dan Realm. Elderly, I shall leave this place to you. I have something important to do. Chen Xiang did not forget his agreement with the super old fire beast. Now, he had Pa-s, said the sixth nirvana tribulation. The super old fire beast had said before that as long as he Pa-s, said the fifth nirvana tribulation, he would be fine. Not long after he returned, Chen Xiang left again. The dragon subduing city's transmission array was established on the outside and all of it had been destroyed, so he could only go to other cities in order to quickly reach the Chen martial continent. After releasing the super old fire beast, he planned to go to the divine weapon's heavenly country to find Xue Xianxian. They were husband and wife, but they rarely spent time together, which made him feel extremely guilty. After a few more twists and turns, he finally arrived at the Chen martial continent. Standing beside the Yuming Deep Abyss, he had already found out from the ice dragon that this super old fire beast was not a bad person. Arriving at the bottom of the Yuming Deep Abyss, Chen Xiang quickly ran towards the cave that held the super old fire beast. H.E.L. Lo Sr. Chen Xiang saw the gigantic flame lion lying on the ground with its eyes closed. He shouted lightly. The super old fire beast opened its eyes, looked at Chen Xiang, and yawned. Brat, what are you here for? I don't believe that you are so kind to come and chat with me. I'm going to let you out. I've crossed the 6th level of Nirvana tribulation. I should have enough strength. Chen Xiang laughed. What? The super old fire beast fiercely sat up, its huge body moving too intensely, causing the ground to tremble slightly. Chen Xiang saw that the super old fire beast's eyes were spitting fire, and he was panic-stricken. Kid, didn't this seat already say that? You are about to come after the 5 Nirvana tribulations, and you have just arrived? But then again, it doesn't seem like much time has said, does it? You said the Nirvana tribulation? Super old fire beast had originally wanted to go berserk, but when he thought about the time, he was still very excited. He originally predicted that it would take Chen Xiang many years to reach that level. I went to the sacred Dan realm, and I broke through on the way there. I couldn't come back for a while, so I was delayed. Chen Xiang was currently considering whether or not he should inform the super old fire beast of the ice dragon's time. Sacred Dan realm? Could it be the place where he refined the pill all those years ago? Is it now a world of reading? The super old fire beast said in shock. That's right, but it's a mess over there, and there's also the sage devil. I almost can't come back. Chen Xiang said. Isn't it just a holy demon? Let me go out and destroy him. The super old fire beast roared excitedly. Chen Xiang knew that this super old fire beast was very strong, and very impulsive as well. Back then, he wanted to 1v1 some strong people, and it was also because of this that he was sealed here by the ice dragon. What can I do to help you out? Chen Xiang asked. Go to the Earth's core first and find the Earth Tree's root. There, you can think of a way to destroy it. That was how that guy trapped me back then. The super old fire beast said angrily. Seeing that the super old fire beast was so angry, Chen Xiang did not plan to tell the story of how the ice dragon had forgotten about him, in case the big flame lion went crazy. Seeing that the super old fire beast was so angry, Chen Xiang did not plan to tell the story of how the ice dragon had forgotten about him, in case the big flame lion went crazy. Do you understand? Seeing Chen Xiang in a daze, the super old fire beast asked loudly. Got it. Chen Xiang came back to reality and replied. Don't think that it's too simple. The core is no longer what it was before. Tion's core temperature is very high. Moreover, after going through a violent collision in the core, there might be dangerous situations that have never happened before. The super old fire beast said in a serious tone. Also, after you find the Earth Tree, you will need to destroy that array. That array is not easy to destroy. With your current strength, it might take a period of time. It will take a flame to destroy that formation. This is also the reason why I gave you the Tianyang Fire Soul before. Chen Xiang left the cave and walked on the familiar path. He had come to Yu Ming Deep Abyss a few times already, but there were no changes here. He quickly found the door leading to the core of the earth. When the green dragon demon-slain broadsword opened it, a scorching wave of air surged out, causing Chen Xiang's skin to burn with a wave of pain. This core is indeed getting hotter and hotter. Chen Xiang was horrified. This door was a long distance away from the earth core, but the ACCU mulat heat was so strong that the earth core could be imagined. Previously, the reason he was able to enter the evil dragon graveyard was through the core of the earth, but at that time, the core of the earth was not as terrifying as it was now, and he didn't know if he could make it through. After all, this was a place that could grow earth tree, and it was also possible that this was the center of the new imperial heaven world. The temperature of the earth's core would inevitably rise. Chen Xiang was glad that he was able to enter the evil dragon graveyard to obtain the dragon vein faster from the earth's core. If he still had a bit more time, perhaps only someone like the ice dragon could resist the terrifying temperature of the earth's core. Although it was hot when he entered the pass sage to the core of the earth, Chen Xiang could still endure it. He had previously trained his body in this pass sage before too, so he wanted to see how strong his own body was. Just as the super old fire beast had said, the temperature of the earth's core was getting more and more terrifying. Chen Xiang had only walked half a distance before he could not take it anymore. He felt an excruciating pain all over his body. If he continued like this, he would be severely injured. I wonder if we can make it to the earth tree. Only now did Chen Xiang feel the difficulty of the mission. Not only did he have to find the earth tree, he also had to find a tree hole in it and destroy a powerful formation inside. The inside of the earth tree should not be that hot, right? Otherwise, the fire essence from the earth's core would have burned that formation long ago. I wonder what technique the ice dragon used to set up such a powerful formation in that place. Chen Xiang quickened his pace. He could feel that the temperature of the earth's core was increasing every second. Such a terrifying core was the key to Di Tian's growth. This was also equivalent to Di Tian's source of energy. A large amount of spiritual energy was evaporated from this core. After going forward with great difficulty, Chen Xiang finally arrived in front of a cave entrance that was flickering with fire. There was an array formation at the cave entrance that could prevent the fire droplets from flowing in, but humans could easily walk out of the cave entrance and enter the core of the earth. Chen Xiang rested for a while, took a few deep breaths, stepped out of the cave and entered into a sea of fire. The surrounding was filled with a fiery red liquid. The temperature was extremely high, and furthermore, it was difficult for him to advance. Even with the protection of the profound wood diamond armor, he was penetrated by the terrifying heat wave. His entire body was scorched. In this kind of place, it was hard for Chen Xiang to move an inch, and the SPAC here was also extremely firm. With his current strength, it was difficult for him to move the SPAC here and travel through it. If he had no other way, he could only withdraw and enter when he had enough strength. But at that time, the Earth's core would become even more terrifying. Back then, the reason the super old fire beast was so sure that Chen Xiang had said through the Nirvana tribulation and entered the Earth core to save him was because he had not taken the matter of Di Tian's rebirth into consideration. Therefore, the terror of the core far exceeded the expectations of the super old fire beast from back then. Fire Dragon Sword. Didn't you previously use Ice Dragon Sword S to resist the cold air or something? Try using the Fire Dragon Sword. Long Shui said. Chen Xiang anxiously called out the Fire Dragon Sword, and then, something unexpected happened. The flame essence that was tightly wrapped around him suddenly retreated, and was originally compressed to the point that it made it hard to breathe. But now, with Fire Dragon Sword as the center, everything around him, there was no flame essence, not even a little bit of hot air. This Fire Dragon Sword is indeed powerful. Not only does it have the mysterious ability to control flames, it can also restrain ice. No wonder that fellow from the sacred Dragon Mountain had such confidence in defeating me. Chen Xiang praised, but Green Dragon Demon Slain Broadsword did not have that ability. I heard that the Fire Dragon was bred from the Earth's core, and the Fire Dragon Sword's forging materials came from the Earth's core as well. Long Shui said, "Little naughty dragon, what about your White Dragon Sword? Do you know where it is?" Chen Xiang was suddenly very curious. He had seen the might of other 7 Dragons' Sword, Ice Dragon Sword and Fire Dragon Sword, but Holy Dragon Sword was also not bad. It could allow the user to release a very powerful the power of the Holy Dragon, and could increase it by many times. I don't know, but I have some clues. When you go to Heaven Realm in the future and see if you can find it again, I will tell you that our White Dragon Sword is very powerful. Long Shui said. Chen Xiang still didn't know what kind of special power the White Dragon had, but from the looks of Long Shui's current situation, he seemed to be slightly stronger than other dragons, because Long Shui could also use many types of energy. With the help of the Fire Dragon Sword, it was very convenient for Chen Xiang to walk around in the heart of the earth. Originally, he wanted to go to the bottom to take a look, but after he had been sinking for a period of time, he felt the Fire Dragon Sword trembling and did not dare to continue. The Earth Tree was in the direction where the super old Fire Beast was trapped. As long as Chen Xiang could confirm the direction, find the Earth Tree and then find the tree hole on top of it, he would have completed most of the work. Relying on the protection of the Fire Dragon Sword, Chen Xiang ran like the wind in the Earth's core. Not long after, he found that extremely huge Earth Tree. Chen Xiang was worried that the tree hole was at the root of the tree, and that the root was a very deep place. Even if he had a Fire Dragon Sword, he wouldn't be able to go to that place. The location of the tree hole was not deep inside. It took Chen Xiang an entire day to find it, and this made him feel a lot more at ease. After entering the tree hole, it was indeed a very cool place. It was filled with the icy aura unique to ice dragons, and there was also a lot of frost. The red light from the hole made the ice even redder. The hole in the tree had a lot of SPAC, but it did not affect the growth of the Earth Tree at all. The hole in the tree had a lot of SPAC, but it did not affect the growth of the Earth Tree at all. Chen Xiang saw the formation laid down by the Ice Dragon. This formation was extremely special. It could borrow the strength of entire Earth Tree to trap a super old fire beast. The formation's spirit grain was covered in a thick layer of ice. Chen Xiang tried it and found that even the Green Dragon Demon Slain Broadsword was unable to shatter it. Long Shui said, "It's not a profound Bing, but the ice condensed from the strongest power that the Ice Dragon used. It's not that easy to break it." This big lion, it's so hard to tell you what to do, but after going up there, I need him to give you a few more earthly fruit. Chen Xiang released the heaven fire and said, "Could it be that you really need to use a fire to melt it?" Although the ice had not fused yet, it still showed signs of being shaken. This method was feasible, but the ice that sealed the entire array was as big as a mountain. When would the ice completely melt? Furthermore, the entrance of the tree hole had already isolated the hot air outside. Otherwise, he would have been able to quickly absorb the fire energy outside and use the heavenly refining flame to burn it down. Looks like I can only consume my own items. Chen Xiang took out the bottle of holy water of Qiangyang. Each drop of the holy water of Qiangyang contained a dense amount of immortal energy. If he were to drink it, he would be able to use the heavenly alchemy and ignite a strong fire of heaven. We really lost big time. We have to really ask that big guy for some earthly fruit to make up for it. Chen Xiang drank an entire bottle of the holy dry sun water, then activated the heavenly alchemy, transforming the rich immortal energy into flames. After which, he began to fuse with his own heaven fire, giving him an extremely violent flame. Boom! 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 He gathered this kind of violent, scorching power into his palms and continuously struck the thick ice beneath his feet. The violent, scorching power was like lightning, penetrating through the thick ice and causing it to crack open. The heavenly flame really does burn a lot of energy. The holy water of Qianyang is suddenly running out. Chen Xiang took out the hammer of God and madly hammered at the thick ice beneath his feet. This hammer of God had very good effects. After Chen Xiang injected the scorching fire energy into it, he released it using the hammer of God. The power produced from the hammering had a very strong penetrative power. At this moment, the crushed ice was much easier to melt. In the following 10 days, Chen Xiang exhausted all his means and finally reached the deepest part of the tree cave, standing on top of the array. It's much easier now. Chen Xiang took out his green dragon demon-slain broadsword S, hacked at the spirit grain S, and cut off all their connections. After the array formation was destroyed, a ruby bead suddenly appeared in the center of the array formation, emitting a dazzling fiery red light. What is this? Chen Xiang anxiously grabbed onto the stone. He could feel a terrifying flame power, but it did not attack him. Could it be the crystal in the earth tree's body? Long Shui was also surprised. Ah! Chen Xiang suddenly cried out in alarm. This stone wants to enter my body. Chen Xiang held onto the crystal core inside the earth tree's body tightly. His hands were trembling, and when he opened his palm, he saw that half of the fiery red bead had already entered his palm. This is bad. This thing is devouring my heaven fire soul. Chen Xiang's face changed greatly, while waves of lion roars could be heard. The super old fire beast must have already come out, and yet he had met with such danger. The mysterious bead completely entered his palm and turned into a force that fiercely rushed into his body. It rushed through every part of his body, making him feel as if he was being pierced by countless scorching needles. My heaven fire soul is changing. What's going on? Chen Xiang suddenly felt that the crystal had merged into his body and was strengthening his fire soul. Chen Xiang's body suddenly surged with pain. It was as painful as if he had merged with fire soul. He rolled on the ground, and after who knows how long, he realized that someone was grabbing onto his arm, and then pulled him through a very hot place. At this moment, he was still very clear. He guessed that someone had found him and pulled him out of the hole in the tree. Then Pa S said, through the core of the earth. The earth tree that accompanied me for so many years was destroyed by you just like that, F***CK? My geocentric crystal, Aiawawa. Chen Xiang heard a person who was complaining incessantly. It was the super old fire beast who had actually pulled him out, and the pain had only intensified, causing him to be unable to control his entire body, and he had even fallen into a coma. 2 days had passed, said when Chen Xiang finally woke up. He only saw a red-clothed middle-aged man staring at him. You are Senior Super Old Fire Beast? Chen Xiang suddenly thought of something. Previously, he had heard the Super Old Fire Beast grumbling. That's me, you fused quite well. However, your fire has yet to reach the level of a sky fire. Your fire potential is 2 Astonies. Hi+ing. Once it erupts, your body won't be able to withstand it. The super old fire beast said. Chen Xiang had known a long time ago that if he were to forcibly break through the flames, he would destroy himself. Super old fire beast's entire face was filled with sideburns and he looked extremely fierce. If a child saw him, they would probably be scared to tears. What if my flame breaks through? That is the heaven flame? Chen Xiang asked. He inspected his body, but could not find anything. The heaven fire soul was still there, and had not changed from before. The core crystal is the heart of the earth tree and it has already been obtained by you. Do you know what the mental energy crystal means? It was the seed of a divine flame, a divine flame. It's not something that a child like Sky Fire can compare to. The super old fire beast's words stunned Chen Xiang. But the next time you make a breakthrough, it should be the heaven and earth sacred flame. This is a very strong flame, almost the same as mine. However, your body is too weak. If you try to forcefully break through, you will only kill yourself. With your divine flame seed, it will be much easier for you to cultivate divine flame in the future. The super old fire beast arrived at the mouth of the cave. Looking at the blue sky outside, he had already brought Chen Xiang out of the Yuming deep abyss. Do you have anything else to ask? This seat is about to leave. I want to ask about the 10 heavens Supreme Lord. I have already obtained the ground killing, God slain method and celestial slain method. I want to know where the other heaven earth killing method are. I keep having the feeling that if I don't gather all of them, it will be very difficult to continue cultivating. Chen Xiang boldly asked. What? You have that many heaven earth killing methods? The super old fire beast was shocked. He shook his head. I cannot tell you, although you have obtained a lot of chi s, the h.I plus s things, it does not mean that you will be told. What? You have that many heaven earth killing methods? The super old fire beast was shocked. He shook his head. I cannot tell you, although you have obtained a lot of chi s, h.I plus s things, it does not mean that you will be told. Chen Xiang suddenly decided to reveal the matter of the ice dragon trapping him, making him angry. I've seen an ice dragon. In the sacred Dan realm, he made a bunch of ice dragon sword and left them for a human clan there. His name is Long Family. Chen Xiang suddenly said. Sure enough, the super old fire beast became excited. And then it was gone. Chen Xiang said as his mouth twitched. The super old fire beast was enraged, and grabbed Chen Xiang by the collar. Brat, tell me honestly. Chen Xiang shook his head. I won't say. If I say it out loud, you will kill me. How could I possibly kill you? Although you, little b, A-S-T, A-R-D, took away the spirit crystal, you are still my benefactor. The super old fire beast immediately let Chen Xiang go. Since I'm your benefactor, why didn't you tell me the whereabouts of the other heaven-earth killing methodist? Chen Xiang was very unhappy in his heart, although he had stolen the treasure that the super old fire beast had been eyeing for many years. You've already obtained the mind crystal, how do you want me to repay you? The super old fire beast was instantly enraged. Is that what I deserve? If you have the ability, why didn't you take it away previously? Then I had to use a lot of effort to get to the tree hole, break through the thick ice, destroy the formation, and then drill the geocentric crystal into my body. It would be hard for me to get it even if I don't want to. Chen Xiang laughed. How about we make an exchange? I know where the ice dragon is. I also know why you hate the ice dragon so much. Super old fire beast laughed out loud. Because I was trapped in the past. That's why I made the deal with you, human brat. Don't you know that the ice dragon and this seat are good friends? I only sought him out to vent my anger, not to treat him as my enemy. Do you think that you can make me reveal the place where Chi S H.I plus hid his skills? Chi S H.I plus is a good friend of mine. Without his permission, I will definitely not reveal the location of his hidden technique, unless he comes back to life and nods his head in front of me. The super old fire beast's words were extremely firm, causing Chen Xiang to groan softly. The ice dragon told me before that it was because he did something else that he forgot to release you, which was why you were trapped in that place for so long. If I didn't mention it, he wouldn't even have thought of this. What? Because he forgot? This heartless bug. It's my fault for treating him as a brother. The super old fire beast was enraged. It is because of this D-A-M-N bug that I have been trapped for so long. I will definitely teach it a lesson. It was because the ice dragon had told him that it would release him, but it had not in all these years, and its relations. H.I plus P with the ice dragon was also very good, so in the end, he believed that the ice dragon had only let him out because it was dead. But now, Chern Xiang had let him know an accepted reality, and he definitely did not doubt it, because it was not the first time the ice dragon had forgotten something important. Don't mention what I said, I still have many things to attend to. Goodbye. Chern Xiang stood up, patted his B.U.T.T. and was about to fly out of the cave, but he was stopped by the super old fire beast. Brat, quickly tell me where the dead insects are. The super old fire beast asked loudly. I don't know. Chern Xiang spread his hands. Humph, I can tell you where Chi is hiding, but if you die there, don't blame me for it. The super old fire beast said. Didn't you say that you wanted the 10 Heavens Supreme Lord to revive? Chern Xiang's face was filled with disbelief. Brat, hurry up and tell us where those dead insects are. The super old fire beast glared at him. You have to tell me where the other heaven-earth killing methods are. Chern Xiang was not so easily deceived. Do I look like the type of person who would brag? Would I lie to you, little brat? The super old fire beast was furious. It wanted to teach this D.A.M.N. little brat a lesson. Just now you were just bragging. You said that you would never tell me, but now you're saying that you can. Chern Xiang curled his lips and said, If you tell me first if I don't tell you, or if I lie to you, you can kill me. But if you go back on your word, I won't be able to do anything to you, so it would be more fair if you said it first. The super old fire beast took a deep breath and said, In the sacred beast's ancient realm, I only know that this place is hiding the beast slain method, which is where Chi and I were born. I also don't know what's happening inside. If you guys still have a lot of beasts, then you guys are pretty strong, so this place should still be D-Tion. I'm not sure where the split D-Tion will combine again. Go and find out for yourself. Chern Xiang did not expect D-Tion to have such a place. After remembering the name, he said, The ice dragon said that the place he is currently at is very powerful. He said that he was doing very poorly at that place. This fellow actually went to that place. No wonder. This seat understands. Goodbye. The super old fire beast flew out of the cave, and saw a huge black hole appear in front of him. Sacred beast's ancient realm. Do you know where it is? Chern Xiang asked the 3 women inside the ring. I don't know. This is D-Tion's matter, we don't know. Bai Yu sighed. Chern Xiang felt that the white tiger would definitely know. When he had time, he would ask around. If he was still at D-Tion, he would have to get it before he ascended. After leaving this place, Chern Xiang came to the divine weapon's heavenly country. Previously, he had planned to spend a period of time with Xue Xianxian and see if she needed any help. However, looking at the speed of Xue Xianxian's growth, she wouldn't be able to stay in D-Tion for too long. With the appearance of D-Tion, her resources had also become richer, so the new generation's seedlings' abilities had increased very quickly. They weren't as difficult as those old fellows from before. Chern Xiang took the special command medallion that Lu Menger had given him and entered the divine weapon's heavenly country's imperial palace. Xue Xianxian stayed at his previous residence, but what surprised him was that Leng Yulan was also present. A violent woman like Leng Yulan was actually able to quietly sit there and focus on researching formations and refining tools, making Chern Xiang think that he was seeing things. Chern Xiang quietly came to the lawn of the courtyard and stood by the side to watch carefully. Watching Leng Yulan meticulously depict those incomparably complex spirit grain, he couldn't help but sigh in his heart. This little sister had really grown up. Chapter 1139, Couple Whisper. Chapter 1139, Couple Whisper. At this time, Xue Xianxian was concentrating on looking at the profound spirit grain on the blueprint, and she was even using her fingertips to release a bit of white cold air, condensing into threads, using them to draw the spirit grain. On the other hand, Leng Yulan first used the brush to draw and familiarize herself with the spirit grain. Although Xue Xianxian looked like an otherworldly fairy, he was somewhat innocent. However, her vigilance was extremely high. After sensing a trace of qi, she suddenly turned around, and pulled out a long sword made of white jade dragon bones, pointing it at Shen Xiang. If not for that familiar handsome face of Shen Xiang, she would have already thrusted her sword over, and Leng Yulan would also anxiously take out that large sword. "Brother! You're sneaking around, you must be looking for a beating." When Leng Yulan saw that it was Shen Xiang, she laughed out loud, and the big sword suddenly slashed down, with a bit of dragon qi. Although Leng Yulan tried her best to conceal her own draconic strength, Shen Xiang could feel it. Shen Xiang knew that Leng Yulan was sparring with him, and immediately slammed his palm towards the great sword, causing the heaven-shaking palm to explode and the entire house to shake. A huge explosion resounded. Leng Yulan's arm was also numb from the impact as she retreated a few steps. "Stop messing around, do you want to destroy this place?" Xue Xianxian looked at Shen Xiang reproachfully. She knew Leng Yulan liked to fight, but he still tried to please her. This would only arouse Leng Yulan's fighting spirit. Sure enough, with a mighty shout, Leng Yulan pounced over like a fierce leopard. That large sword was not sloppy either, and with a swoosh, it swept up a terrifying gust of cold wind. The huge and sharp greatsword was accompanied by a biting cold wind as it violently slashed down, causing people's hair to stand on end as it whistled through the air. It was extremely terrifying. Shen Xiang anxiously used the heaven fire in his body to form a palm, and fiercely struck the sword, causing the large sword to hum, and then quickly struck at Leng Yulan's chest, setting off a red fire wave that engulfed Leng Yulan. Leng Yulan did not dodge, but roared instead. His body suddenly burst out with white flames, covering her fiery red clothes, and the jade palm also condensed with white flames, striking straight towards Shen Xiang's palm. Two palms of fire clashed together, causing the ground to shake. A wave of terrifying fire was just about to burst out, but right at that moment Xue Xianxian suddenly took action. With a wave of his hand, a white mist, visible to the naked eye, enveloped the two palms of fire. The arms of Shen Xiang and Leng Yulan were filled with frost. It could be seen that Xue Xianxian's ice wind divine art was extremely powerful. It could actually instantly cool down the scorching energy produced by the collision of the two types of terrifying flames. "You siblings, fight as soon as you see each other." Xue Xianxian pouted. Leng Yulan wanted to see how big of a difference there was between her and Shen Xiang's strength, and Shen Xiang also wanted to see how strong Leng Yulan's white dragon blood would be after it had awakened. What surprised Shen Xiang the most was that Leng Yulan could actually use that kind of white flame. He seemed to have heard Long Xue say before that it was the fire of a white dragon. Leng Yulan shook her beautiful white hair and laughed. "Isn't it just 2 moves? Brother, you're not bad at all. No wonder you dare to draw aggro. Yulan, you have improved a lot. Seems like you will be able to go to Heaven Realm very soon." Shen Xiang smiled as he walked over, and gently caressed Leng Yulan's cold and beautiful face. Xue Xianxian walked over, held Shen Xiang's arm and asked softly, "Husband, are you not busy yet? You came here, is there something you need us for?" Shen Xiang kissed Xue Xianxian on the forehead and said smilingly, "I have some time now, and I want to see how my little fairy and little demon girl manage divine weapons Heavenly Country and Icewind Valley. What's the use of management? Normally, I would leave it to the elders. As long as I can learn array formations and refine weapons, I'll be able to lay down some powerful array formations. Now that senior apprentice sister and I have teamed up, this will not be difficult for us." Leng Yulan's face was filled with excitement. It seemed like she really wanted to fight with Shen Xiang. "You husband and wife haven't been together alone for so long. I should leave now." Leng Yulan suddenly thought of something, threw those words and ran. "This girl, if you know about it, don't say it," Xue Xianxian said with a red face and laughed. Shen Xiang looked at Xue Xianxian's blushing face, and thoughts of the past few days surged in her mind. He embraced Xue Xianxian's waist, and bit on his beautiful lips, her tongue extending into his fragrant sandalwood mouth, and touched his soft tongue. It had been a long time since she had such a intimate relations, Hi+P with these two people, and they kissed very quickly, while Ling Yulan watched from the side. She remembered that she had kissed Shin Xiang before. After a while, Xue Xianxian looked at the place Ling Yulan was hiding with a flushed face and muttered in a low voice, "This good little sister of yours looks at the side for a long time." Ling Yulan, who was hiding in the GRAS, shouted anxiously, "I didn't see anything." Xue Xianxian laughed. "It would be weird if I believe you." Shen Xiang carried Xue Xianxian and sat on the lawn, allowing Xue Xianxian to lean into his embrace. Xue Xianxian leaned into Shen Xiang's embrace, and like a little bird tying to a human, he softly said, "It's not hard. Yulan also said just now that many of the things are managed by the elders, we just need to put in some effort in big matters." Although Ling Yulan and Xue Xianxian had not reached the peak of their nirvana realm, if the two of them were to work together, their strength would still be extremely strong, especially when they both cultivated the ice-wind divine art, which allowed them to have the divine veins of ice and fire. Furthermore, they had been together all year round, and with their tacit understanding, their fighting strength was still impressive, especially after Ling Yulan's white dragon blood awakened. At least, right now, Shen Xiang was unable to see through the true strength of the delicate little fairy in his arms. He kept the feeling that Xue Xianxian and Ling Yulan were hiding very strong powers, it was just that they were extremely low-key and rarely used. "Master asked me to tell you that he hoped that you could have some peace and quiet in your cultivation, and that you could go to the heaven realm as soon as possible. Furthermore, after you go to the heaven realm, you must also obediently increase your strength." Xue Xianxian stroked Shen Xiang's handsome face and said faintly, "It's such a pity that I didn't see her before the sister Menger ascended." Shen Xiang sighed. "There will be opportunities in the future, but then again, Master's parents are very powerful. If you knew about the relations, Hi+P between you and her, you definitely wouldn't be able to take her in so smoothly." Xue Xianxian ridiculed. Did the sister Menger tell you about this?" Shen Xiang also felt that taking in master and disciple was not appropriate. The parents of sister Menger would definitely oppose it. "I've already talked about it. I didn't expect that when master talked about it, he would be as shy as a little girl. This imp of yours truly was bad to master back then, bullying master like that." Xue Xianxian giggled and pinched Shen Xiang's face a little. "Menger," he said calmly. "Really? Why can't I remember? I've always been good to her. Never bullied her." "Menger," he said calmly. "Really? Why can't I remember? I've always been good to her. Never bullied her." Ling Yulan, who was standing at the side, was depressed. She did not expect that the couple would actually talk about her master when they met. She was an idiot in terms of emotions, so she naturally could not understand that Chen Xiang had already fallen for Lu Menger, which was why she could not wrap her head around it. "I heard that the Dragon Emperor wanted to attack you back then, right?" Chen Xiang had heard of it from the White Tiger, and when he thought about it, he became extremely furious. A dignified Dragon Emperor was actually ruthless to a group of women who were weaker than him. Xue Xianxian nodded his head. "Amen. Luckily your dragon subduing school's great clan elder suddenly appeared. We were fine. You didn't kill the son of the Dragon Emperor, so he probably dealt with us for the sake of the green dragon demon slain broadsword." The hot-tempered Ling Yulan immediately jumped over and said angrily, "This old stinky dragon is ABASTARD. Sooner or later, this old lady will pull out his dragon tendons, strip off his dragon scales, crush his dragon egg, and make him act arrogantly. Brother, why are you so useless? Why didn't you kill that little BASTARD dragon? If only you had killed him. As expected of the white dragon bloodline, you are truly promising," Long Shui said excitedly, as he fully supported Ling Yulan's words. Chen Xiang's forehead started to perspire slightly, This white dragon bloodline seemed to be born to rebel against Imperial Dragon Clan. In fact, he really wanted to tell this violent sister that he killed Prince Imperial Dragon so that she could be proud of him. However, he was worried that Leng Yulan might not be able to control his own mouth, and that it would become troublesome if word of this got out. Brother, I support you in establishing the dragon subduing school. In the future, I will specially kill those cold and elegant royal dragons. Your dragon subduing school must save a spot for me. When I get Master's permission, I will go and rely on you. I will specifically go with you to kill dragons. As Leng Yulan spoke, he took out his mighty large sword and waved it. Xue Xianxian had long gotten used to this kind of Leng Yulan, so he only smiled lightly. Just like how Chen Xiang was used to Long Xue. Xue Xianxian and Leng Yulan also put down what they were doing at hand and chatted idly about various things. A day quickly said. Although Chen Xiang and Xue Xianxian were husband and wife, there were very few things that a man and woman would do to each other. Now that they were making up for it, they could enjoy the joy of being at the pinnacle. The sky was about to brighten when both Chen Xiang and Xue Xianxian had finished cultivating. Xue Xianxian regained his senses from the pleasant afterglow and felt that the innate qi in his body had advanced quite a bit. He then pounded Chen Xiang's chest. Scoundrel, husband, why are you so skilled? You almost killed him last night. To be honest, who exactly did you train with? Xue Xianxian said with jealousy. Chen Xiang embraced the tender and beautiful jade person and looked at the jade face that had become even more beautiful because of last night's watering. Is it going to be comfortable to death? Little scoundrel. Xue Xianxian pouted. Truth be told, have you been flirting around outside? Don't recklessly harm others. Of course I didn't act recklessly, Chen Xiang quickly explained. Then why are you so skillful, so much experience, so many tricks? You've only been with me a few times before. Be honest with Qianshan? Xue Xianxian straddled his navel and stared at Chen Xiang. Chen Xiang looked at the naked Xue Xianxian, and his pair of bad hands obediently touched it, but it was opened. It's little girl Xiang Yu. Chen Xiang curled his lips, sat up, and hugged Xue Xianxian. He intended to once again have fun with this little fairy, who was filled with incomparable temptation. Humph, I knew it! You finally ate the female slave, you're so bad. Xue Xianxian pinched the flesh on Chen Xiang's arm. Chen Xiang laughed, and then a beautiful spring scene appeared in the room. In the morning, Chen Xiang came to the courtyard. He saw that Leng Yulan had one hand on her fragrant cheek, her beautiful white hair was a little messy. Chen Xiang went over to help her comb it, but her face was full of displeasure. Xue Xianxian walked over, caressed Leng Yulan's face and said with a smile, Are you unhappy because I wasn't with you last night? Leng Yulan scoffed, You guys played games together last night and had such fun. If you don't bring me along, you guys are so selfish. Plus, Chen Xiang glanced at Xue Xianxian, as if he was asking Xue Xianxian why he didn't teach this white-haired beauty some common knowledge, making her seem so young, to the point that she didn't even know about this. I taught her, but she can't figure out what's going on. And you little scoundrel, have you ever kissed her before? Xue Xianxian sent a sound transmission to Chen Xiang and scolded her. Chen Xiang had indeed kissed Leng Yulan before. He coughed dryly twice, then sat beside Leng Yulan and said, Good little sister, this is something that only husband and wife can do, it is a very intimate action. Leng Yulan thought for a while, then said, Was it you who did it with senior sister in the cave last time? It's no big deal. They just needed to hug each other naked, then kiss each other, touch the body, then move up and down, one after the other. You didn't do this all night, did you? You're all so bored. Chen Xiang choked on his words. He thought for a moment, then said, That's right, this is a very boring matter, and is also an act to strengthen the relations. Hi plus P between husband and wife. Moreover, by cultivating in this way, one can increase one's strength. Ling Yulan's eyes lit up. Increase in strength? This way is also possible? When Xue Xianxian saw that the situation wasn't right, she knew that if this were to continue, Ling Yulan would definitely clamor that he would play that sort of game with her. She hurriedly sent a sound transmission to Chen Xiang. Master said that you better not touch Yulan's body. She said that Yulan's body is very scary right now. Did elder sister Meng'er really say that? How did she know that I would do that to Yulan? Chen Xiang touched Ling Yulan's white hair. You stole Yulan's first kiss last time. This girl wants the whole world to know, you little scoundrel. I already knew that you had a bad purpose in taking her as my little sister. And Jing Jing, she's also your little sister now, so maybe you'll eat her that day, heh. Sensing that Xue Xianxian was extremely jealous, Chen Xiang hurriedly avoided her gaze. He wanted to swear that when he had first accepted Ling Yulan and Dongfang Jing as his disciples, his goal was absolutely pure, but the developments afterwards had exceeded his expectations. Just as Ling Yulan was planning to pester him further, a voice suddenly came from outside the courtyard. Great leader and leader! There's an urgent report that the Ghost Killer's people are active in the vicinity of the Divine Weapon's heavenly country. Moreover, during this period of time, a few of our Divine Weapon sect's disciples who went out of the sect have disappeared without a trace. We suspect that it was the Ghost Killer who did this. After Ling Yulan heard this, he hastily opened the door and shouted, Where are those B.A.S.T.A.R.D.S. of the Ghost Killer coming from? I am going to castrate them. How dare they attack our Divine Weapon sect? I will destroy the entire ghost-killing school. Outside the door was a beautiful middle-aged woman. When she saw a man in the courtyard, she couldn't help but be surprised. However, upon closer inspection, she realized that this handsome and charismatic man looked very familiar. Outside the door was a beautiful middle-aged woman. When she saw a man in the courtyard, she couldn't help but be surprised. However, upon closer inspection, she realized that this handsome and charismatic man looked very familiar. Dragon Subduing School of the Dragon Subduing School, Chen Xiang. Xue Xianxian was Chen Xiang's wife and Ling Yulan was Chen Xiang's recognized sister. Everyone knew that, so it was normal for Chen Xiang to be here. Yulan, calm down. Xue Xianxian pulled Ling Yulan and said to the beautiful middle-aged woman, Sister Ci, send the people from the secret hall to investigate, and at the same time remove the people from there, then send a few experts to pretend to be normal disciples. See if we can lure those people out. If they discover the presence of the Ghost Killer, let the people of the Dark Hall kill them all, and do not leave a single one alive. Chen Xiang had also fought with the Ghost Killer before, so he was a group of people who used extremely strong hidden weapons with poison. Alright, I got it. I have the latest news. I will report back. This beautiful woman called Sister Ci looked at Chen Xiang and quickly left. I have killed 10 silver-masked Ghost Killers before. Do you want me to help? If you go against Divine Weapon's heavenly country in Chen Martial Continent, it would be equivalent to going against Super Martial School and Dan Fragrance Pure Land. It should be a sect with a bit of power. Chen Xiang said. Bro, bring me along. Ling Yulan was extremely furious. You actually dare to make a move on our Divine Weapon sect members. I'll definitely let this group of fellows die a horrible death. Xue Xianxian said. Yulan, investigate who did this first. That place is so big, if you go there, you'll scare them away. Where are you going to find those bad guys? Chen Xiang patted her head and said, That's right, we'll listen to Xianxian. When we can make a move, she'll definitely go with you. Ling Yulan nodded, then said, Big brother, senior sister and I are busy with research on formations. You should go play somewhere else first and come back tonight. Good girl. Chen Xiang laughed. Chen Xiang left the Divine Weapon's heavenly country and came to the Super Martial School through the transmission array. What surprised him was that the super martial school's leader had already changed, and it was no longer Gu Dongchen. The new super martial school was called Chen Jiutian. He looked like a middle-aged man, but he was a warrior who had just undergone the nirvana tribulation. He recognized Chen Xiang, who had already entered the super martial profound realm when he was still a little kid. Elder Chen, I never thought that you would become a leader, ha ha. Chen Xiang patted Chen Jiatian's shoulder. Gu Dongchen, Wu Keiming and the others from the older generation were definitely going to ascend, so when they transferred the position of the leader, the other sects were also going to ascend. Kid, you're leaders, and you're much more famous than me. Chen Jiantian laughed. After chatting with Chen Jiatian for a while, Chen Xiang went into the super martial profound realm. Huang Jintian, Gu Dongchen and Wu Keiming were currently cultivating in a forest. The moment Chen Xiang came in, he could feel their auras and then came over. Little B, A-S-T, A-R-D, your body smells like a woman. Where did you come from? Huang Jintian suddenly appeared behind Chen Xiang and punched him heavily in the head, causing him to grovel on the ground and howl. Although Chen Xiang's strength had increased by a lot, he was still struck by Huang Jintian's fist. It could be seen how strong Huang Jintian had always been. Master! You old monster! Chen Xiang scratched his head and cursed. Originally, he thought that he was pretty strong after facing the nirvana tribulation. However, Huang Jintian's sneak attack was still unavoidable. Humph, without strength, how can I teach a little B, A-S-T, A-R-D like you a good lesson? Huang Jintian stared at Chen Xiang and bellowed. You made such a huge ruckus in the sacred Dan realm, you actually stole all 7 Chaos Fire tokens. When Wu Keiming and Gu Dongchen heard that Chen Xiang had arrived and came out of the forest, they couldn't help but laugh when they saw that their junior master had been taught a lesson by this old lunatic Huang Jintian. It's dangerous, you know? Huang Jintian seemed to know some things about the Chaos Fire token. Of course I know. Isn't it just summoning a 9-heaven devil palace or something? Chen Xiang stood up and muttered. Isn't the 9-heaven devil palace powerful? Even the immortal king and the devil king had to die inside. This is a very harmful item, you know it, just don't get it out. Huang Jintian reprimanded her in a serious tone. Gu Dongchen laughed. Junior Master, we will ascend very soon, and at that time, Master Ancestor will come with us as well. It's rare for you to come here. He will definitely seize every moment to teach you a lesson, in case you become too strong in the future, and lose to you. I guess so. Chen Xiang laughed. Little B, A-S-T, A-R-D, we will be leaving soon. Can you hold on here? Is the Grand Elder by your side reliable or not? Did you spend a lot of money to get to the front door? And then he left? A guy with that kind of strength will definitely not stay for long. Huang Jintian said. He also felt sad to be leaving this land that he had stayed in for many years. No problem, Chen Xiang said confidently. As the leader of the new generation, he wasn't afraid of being threatened at all. Huang Jintian said, the great war between 3 realms will officially start after we leave. The evil demon devils can't endure it any longer and they all fought to the end, so it's hard to persuade them to return. All we can do is to eliminate them. Our Chen martial continent's strength is still very strong, so you don't have to worry about that. After we go up, we'll all be a bunch of small fries. It's like starting from the beginning. Fortunately, your eldest senior brother has a pretty good foundation up there, so we'll be able to make a good living, so you don't have to worry about us. As for the matters of the super martial school, you don't need to care about it. You should properly stabilize your dragon subduing school, since I am very clear on the capabilities of your dragon subduing school. Chen Xiang nodded. Got it? I'll come and find you soon. After chatting with Huang Jintian and the others for a while, Chen Xiang left with a melancholy mood and came to the Dan Fragrance Pure Land. Right now, Wu Qianqian was the leader, and he should be flying high in the sacred Dan realm. Hua Xiangyue had given her quite a few high-grade medicinal herbs, and she was also very rare, hence she did not dare to be careless. Furthermore, previously, even without Hua Xiangyue, Dan Fragrance Pure Land was still able to function normally, and Wu Qianqian did not have to meddle in too many matters either. After Chen Xiang entered the Dan Fragrance Pure Land, he immediately went into the cave that only the leader could enter. Chen Xiang looked at the abandoned medicinal ingredients on the table and asked, "Are you planning to use the abandoned medicinal ingredients to refine your hands? And, how rare, I didn't think you would come find me." Wu Qianqian invited Chen Xiang to sit, then poured tea for him with an extremely sweet smile on his face. "There is a beautiful lady here, I will definitely come often." Chen Xiang laughed. The fragrance on his body was extremely strange, and every time Chen Xiang smelled it, he would feel an indescribable comfort. It made him want to hug Wu Qianqian and suck on that beautiful fragrance even closer. As Chen Xiang helped Wu Qianqian organize those abandoned medicinal herbs, he asked, "Xiang Yu is no longer here, are you used to it? Or go and stay with Xianxian and the others, but they seem to be very busy all day. And we'll talk about it in the future. I will first raise my alchemy skills here. I can only refine high-grade ground-level pills, and have not become a Dan King yet. Furthermore, my strength is relatively low, and I won't be able to make my appearance. In any case, if he wants to raise his power, he'll have to do it alone." However, after being taught a lesson by Chen Xiang, she had changed a lot. Now that she was in charge of the entire Dan Fragrance Pure Land, she seemed to be more low-key, and the people of the outside world almost didn't know that she was the leader, as they didn't know her foundation. Chen Xiang felt extremely moved in his heart as he looked at the beautiful woman in front of him who wore plain clothes, but did not lose her composure. He and Wu Qianqian had shared many things in the past, and he deeply knew that Wu Qianqian was a very strong woman. Wu Qianqian saw that Chen Xiang was staring at her, and did not even blink, and laughed. "Don't you feel that it's embarrassing to look at others like that?" Chen Xiang laughed. "You aren't shy now, anyway you're right here, and you look so nice, it's a pity that you won't come." Wu Qianqian smiled sweetly, as she organized the ingredients proficiently. Chen Xiang asked, "Qianqian, are you going to refine these ingredients into pills?" Wu Qianqian nodded and said, "Yes, this can increase my control over the pill furnace. If I succeed, I can still make use of the trash, which is one of the aspects that elder sister Xiangyue wanted me to focus on. However, when I was with big sister Xiangyue, I learned a lot of things from her. Furthermore, she helped me to raise my flame, so my blue star fire soul will soon evolve into a purple fire soul. At that time, I'll be able to refine pills with twice the results and half the effort." When Wu Qianqian talked about the blue star fire soul, he couldn't help but think back to that time when he was together with Chen Xiang. "If you dual cultivate with me, it can allow your fire soul to evolve even faster," Long Shui said, and it was even in Chen Xiang's voice. It was not the first time Long Shui had set himself in front of her in this way twice. This made Chen Xiang have the urge to pinch her to death, repeatedly ruining his image. Wu Qianqian raised her head and looked at Chen Xiang. Her face carried a faint blush, and she said in a low voice, "What a bad little scoundrel. No wonder big sister Xiangyue and the others kept calling you that. You were always like that when we were still in Super Dan Imperial College." Qianqian. I'm just saying that if. Chen Xiang didn't want to explain himself, and didn't know how to explain either. He only wanted to grab Long Shui out and give him a good beating. "Little naughty dragon, F***CKU, be more obedient." Chen Xiang sent a sound transmission to Long Shui and roared loudly. "I am helping you create an opportunity. If we don't go now, when will we?" Long Shui was very unsatisfied. He felt that he had been struck by lightning. Wu Qianqian lowered her head and did not speak, The atmosphere was extremely awkward. She did not expect Chen Xiang to so boldly say such words, although she was already used to it. "Little scoundrel, hurry up and hug her, then kiss her. She likes you from the start, and you have your own ideas about her." Long Shui was very unhappy. Chen Xiang's heart also suddenly had this kind of impulse, as he stood up and fiercely hugged Wu Qianqian. Before Wu Qianqian could react, he felt his sandalwood mouth being blocked, and there was even a fierce tongue prying open her lips, entering her small and fragrant mouth, stirring wildly inside, grabbing onto her tongue. Ugh! Wu Qianqian struggled a little, but she did not dare to bite Chen Xiang's tongue hard. And the more she struggled, the harder Chen Xiang would hug her. "That's right." Long Shui laughed out loud. She felt that she had done a great thing, but was jealous enough to let Su Meiyao pinch her cheek. Very quickly, Wu Qianqian turned soft, and under Chen Xiang's guidance, her soft and rough tongue was quickly wrapped around's hot tongue. The two of them tightly embraced each other and silently kissed. After half a cup of tea, said, Wu Qianqian suddenly remembered something. He hurriedly pushed Chen Xiang away and looked at him with a reddened face. "I still have things to do. I can't accompany you to continue messing around." "How is this nonsense?" Chen Xiang hugged her slender waist, licked his lips, and laughed. "I still need to concoct pills. I'm not as carefree as you." Wu Qianqian let out a light sigh, leaned into Chen Xiang's embrace, and said gently, "Chen Xiang, thank you. You were the one who led me to this path." And Chen Xiang embraced the beauty that was as beautiful as jade, lowered his head slightly, and once again embraced Wu Qianqian's sandalwood mouth. This time, he kissed her very gently, and Wu Qianqian was not that awkward either. After a while, Wu Qianqian gently pushed Chen Xiang away and said softly, "Is that enough? I have a goal today, and I need to concoct some pills. You can come back another day." Chen Xiang laughed and said, "A lifetime is not enough. I'll help you get a blue fire soul right now and let you fuse it into a purple fire soul." Wu Qianqian anxiously pulled Chen Xiang and said, "No need, I can level up through the white flame heavenly horse. You don't need to take the risk. My physique is not like yours. It's not good for me to fuse too much, and it's also very painful." Wu Qianqian sent Chen Xiang outside and said, "Chen Xiang, you have to be careful. Di Tian is currently very restless, and many people have plans for you." "I know." Chen Xiang gently caressed Wu Qianqian's hair, and then left the Dan Fragrance Pure Land. "Little scoundrel, quickly apologize to me and then thank me. This old lady has rendered a great merit," Long Shui said proudly. "All right, thank you Heavenly Dragon Supreme Lord." When Chen Xiang returned to the Divine Weapon's heavenly country, it was already night, but Xue Xianxian and Ling Yulan were not there. After waiting for over an hour, he saw Ling Yulan return with a face filled with killing intent, while Xue Xianxian's expression was also ugly. Chen Xiang asked anxiously, "What happened?" Ling Yulan said angrily, "Isn't it that dogs HI+T of a ghost-killing school actually causing such a ruckus? They knew that Master wasn't here, so they deliberately provoked our Divine Weapon sect, and they even had some sects supporting them. Many treasures were sold here, and now that Lu Menger was no longer here, it was normal for people to set their eyes on him. But to dare provoke the Divine Weapon sect, one would need to at least have a very strong power behind them, because the Divine Weapon sect, Icy Wind Valley, Dan Fragrance Pure Land and Divine Weapon sect were large alliances. Even big powers would not dare to provoke them. Many treasures were sold here, and now that Lu Menger was no longer here, it was normal for people to set their eyes on him. But to dare provoke the Divine Weapon sect, one would need to at least have a very strong power behind them, because the Divine Weapon sect, Icy Wind Valley, Dan Fragrance Pure Land and Divine Weapon sect were large alliances. Even big powers would not dare to provoke them. "Xianxian, do you need my help?" Chen Xiang was free right now. The people of the Ghost Killer and the Golden Sword sect have come to us today to ask us to sell them the Profoundjang's vein at a low price. That Profoundjang's vein is the most valuable vein our divine weapon sect controls. How could we give it to them? Xue Xianxian's brows suddenly revealed a trace of killing intent. It was a rare sight. Are they that daring? Who lent them the guts? Chen Xiang had already decided to help Xue Xianxian. He had long planned to exterminate this small force that was making a ruckus all day. Devil race, those are the fellows from Devil Realm. Right now in that whatever ancient spirit great land, their strength is not bad, otherwise they wouldn't dare to do this to us. These B.A.S.T.A.R.D.S. they would bully our women. Leng Yulan said angrily. We have all learned good demonic technique. If they chose to attack us, then they would be completely wrong. Xue Xianxian said. Chen Xiang stretched his back and asked, Are the people from the Ghost Killing School and the Jin Hao Sword sect still in the city? Ling Yulan snorted. Of course I am, I want to go and take care of this group right now. Chen Xiang said, Tomorrow morning, Yulan, bring me to negotiate with them. If they don't get along well, we can make a move, but if the devil race is involved, we can just start killing them directly. In any case, those fellows from the Devil Realm S and our own Human Realm S have a hard time getting along. Ling Yulan was overjoyed. He looked at Xue Xianxian and said, Senior sister, what do you think? Xue Xianxian laughed. We'll do as your brother says. If we don't show them some colors, how can we let them see? You think I'm not easy to bully? All right, I will go rest now and start a ma's saker tomorrow. Ling Yulan left excitedly. Before the sky brightened, Ling Yulan had already rushed into Xue Xianxian's room. Just as Chen Xiang and Xue Xianxian calmed their hearts, the bedding was pulled away by Ling Yulan. Ling Yulan looked at the naked pair before him and said calmly, Get up quickly, I'm worried that those guys will run away. We should go earlier. Xue Xianxian's face was flushed red as he scolded with a smile. Yulan, be more polite next time. At least knock on the door. Senior sister, what are you shy about? I've touched your entire body and seen it before, what's the big deal? Ling Yulan felt that this was not a big deal. Ling Yulan stroked his white hair, looked at Chen Xiang who was huddled up in the corner, and laughed. Brother, what are you shy about? Are you worried that I'll steal your eggs? Stupid girl, quickly turn around. Otherwise, today's operation will be cancelled. Chen Xiang took out his clothes and quickly put them on. Ling Yulan stared at him and said, Even if I have to cancel it, I still want to go. What's the big deal? I don't want it even if you give it to me. It was said that when a man hung on to those two items and that item, didn't he feel it was a big hindrance when fighting? Will it hurt to be kicked? Chen Xiang said helplessly. It will definitely hurt, and it will even hurt so much. Ling Yulan said naively. Then it must be very troublesome, so we might as well cut it off. If I cut it off, it should be able to make it a lot easier for you guys. Chen Xiang was driven mad in his heart, while Xue Xianxian was smiling with his face flushed red. Yulan, although you're not a man, you'll know sooner or later that a man's treasure is very important to both of you women. After Chen Xiang finished putting on his clothes, he kissed Xue Xianxian on the cheek and left the imperial palace with Ling Yulan. The sun had not risen, the dark city was very quiet. Ling Yulan slashed the gigantic white jade dragon sword on his shoulder, while Chen Xiang followed behind disguised as a follower. Yulan, do you know where they are? Chen Xiang sent a sound transmission to Ling Yulan. Of course I know. Last night, when you were having fun in the room, I sent people from the Dark Hall to determine the location. Ling Yulan said. So the secret hall is an ASSA. Sination organization like your divine weapon sect? Yeah, ASSA. Sinations, investigation news and the like. Ling Yulan said. This was established by Master a long time ago. Chen Xiang suspected that the people in this secret hall all had things like death-haunting arrow. Back then, Lu Menger said that he would create a batch for them to use. The Gold Armored Sword Sect, the Ghost Killer, is a small power recruited by the Devil Race, and there are people here from the Devil Race. Ling Yulan brought Chen Xiang to the outside of a large house. Chen Xiang told Long Shui to use the Heaven Tour method to check on the people inside, and lock on their locations. Ling Yulan stood in front of the gate of the house, and knocked on it very politely. When the door opened, the old man saw that it was a white-haired beauty. His face was filled with fear, who in Divine Weapon's heavenly country didn't know of Ling Yulan's name. And this white hair was her specialty. "I'm here to negotiate with you. They will understand what I mean if you inform them," Ling Yulan said. Surprisingly, she did not barge in. When Ling Yulan saw Chen Xiang's doubtful expression, he stuck out his tongue. "Senior sister had also said that you have to behave decently in your own territory and not cause any damage. Don't underestimate me." The butler brought Ling Yulan and Chen Xiang to a large hall and welcomed them. He had also instructed the servants to inform the people here. There are 20 in the Ghost Killer, 30 in the Gold Armored Sword Sect, and 2 in the Devil Race. However, the people from the Devil Race are relatively stronger, and the Devil Race should be the one directing them to do things here. Long Shui said. Someone walked into the hall. It was 2 young men with dense demonic chi. One look was enough to tell that they were from the Devil Race. Behind them were 2 golden-faced Ghost Killers and 3 middle-aged men with golden swords by their waist. A fellow like the Ghost Killer can also be washed clean now. He dares to appear in broad daylight. Aren't you afraid of being killed? Right now, Ghost Killer is someone who needs to be killed. It's one thing for you to not keep a low profile in my territory, but you guys still want to force us to sell you. Although Ling Yulan was impulsive, it did not mean that she was stupid. Otherwise, she wouldn't have such strength now. When the 2 young Devil Race saw this mighty white-haired beauty in front of them, they revealed looks that seemed to want to take her for themselves. The number of silver-faced Ghost Killers were not many, and there were even fewer golden-faced Ghost Killers. Now that they were all working for Devil Race, it could be seen how strong he was. "We lack Profound Gang. As long as you give us half of the load, we will pay you the corresponding spar, and you will even receive the protection of our Devil Race." Honestly speaking, both the Ghost Killer and the Gold Armored Sword Sect are under my Devil Race's control. We sent them here to discuss with you guys, but we did not want you guys to think that your Divine Weapon Sect and the Devil Realm were doing business. After all, human realm hates demons. The man from Devil Race said. On his waist was a black jade pendant. It seemed to hold quite a high position. Ling Yulan sneered. "We are not selling, you guys better hurry up and leave. I do not welcome people like you here." "You are right, our human realm hates people like you, so how can we do business with you guys?" As for the Ghost Killing School and the Devil Race, they had long since become extremely stinky, and now, the Jin Hao Sword Sect should be arriving soon. Ling Yulan sneered. "We are not selling, you guys better hurry up and leave. I do not welcome people like you here." "You are right, our human realm hates people like you, so how can we do business with you guys?" As for the Ghost Killing School and the Devil Race, they had long since become extremely stinky, and now, the Jin Hao Sword Sect should be arriving soon. The reason why I'm here today is for you to quickly leave the Divine Weapon's heavenly country and never step foot inside again. If you discover me, you will be killed without mercy. Ling Yulan's attitude was very clear. He was definitely not going to let the Profound Gang load, and he was even going to expel the Devil Race and the Ghost Killing School. Don't think that your Chun Martial Continent's Sect Alliance is already the best in the world. We have good intentions to chat with you right now. That is because we think highly of you. The young man's face suddenly turned cold. What is it? If you look down on us, are you going to just directly kill us? As expected of a fellow from the Devil Realm. Ling Yulan stood up and shouted in anger, "Get the Hell Out of here, I'll give you 1 hour, get out of Divine Weapon's heavenly country. With regards to the ghost-killing school, Lung Yulan was already easy to deal with. If this thing appeared in the dragon-subduing school, it would have been ordered by Li Baojun to kill it long ago. Haha! What a powerful Divine Weapon's heavenly country, a mere arrogant little girl, actually dares to tell us direct disciples of the devil race to scram. Since you all do not accept our kind intentions, then we will have to use force. Isn't it just a Chen martial continent? Are we still afraid that we won't be able to win? The young man laughed. The 2 golden-face ghost killers also suddenly took action at this time, only to see them quickly waving their arms, releasing a torrential rain of gold needles. The gold needles were glowing with a purple luster, and with a glance, one could tell that they contained a highly toxic poison. Bastard. Ling Yulan swung his greatsword, and the ice wind and cold energy surged out like the waves of the ocean, freezing all the golden needles. The 2 men from Devil Race immediately pulled out a black long blade. The 3 middle-aged men from the Golden Sword sect pulled out their golden swords and pounced towards Ling Yulan. All of them were people who had experienced the 5 tribulations and 6 tribulations of the Nirvana realm. They were all extremely powerful. At the same time, they unleashed a berserk chi that shattered the entire house. However, just as they flew away, just as they released their violent powers, they felt their bodies floating in the air, unable to move. They could see that there were quite a few water dragons coiling around their bodies, and these water dragons were even frantically devouring their powers. Just as Chen Xiang released the water dragons to wrap around this group of people, Lung Yulan's large sword had already slashed out, chopping down Golden Face Ghost Killer's head first, then the 2 Demon Lord's men, and finally the 3 middle-aged men of the Golden Sword sect. Was very familiar with decapitating. In just a few moments, all of their heads were chopped off by her. The secret hall, clean up this place. The rest should be some small fries. Ling Yulan said solemnly. Chen Xiang only saw a few black lights suddenly flash, and with an extremely fast speed, they entered the house, and then he heard many miserable cries. Bro, it's so good to be with you. Ling Yulan laughed and then took out all of their storage magic treasures. Hang the heads of these 2 golden-face ghost killers up, and let them know the power of our divine weapon's heavenly country. If they enter, golden-face ghost killer will definitely die. Ling Yulan and Chen Xiang arrogantly left the house, but the sky had just started to brighten. When he returned to the palace, Xue Xianxian saw the happiness on Ling Yulan's face and knew that the matter was progressing smoothly. We have already sent people to inform Super Martial School and the others of what the Devil Race has done to us. Furthermore, I just received news that Super Martial School's Gu Dongchen, Wu Kaming and even Huang Jintian had flown up to Heaven Realm. Xue Xianxian said, looked at the sky and let out a long sigh. Accompanied by the rise of Huang Jintian and the others, a new era was coming, and this era belonged to them, the youngsters. But today, the demons were rampant, and they were attacking human realm without restraint. Xue Xianxian said, Yulan, we need to quickly arrange a good profound realm. Ling Yulan's eyes lit up. Master and the profound realm sis have refined them, they are now of use. We have to hurry and finish them. How should we arrange it? Chen Xiang knew that Dongfang Xinyue and Lu Menger were refining the profound realm before, but it seemed that they had succeeded. That array disk is currently absorbing energy. It will take around a month to finish. If it is done, we will have a very large profound realm, as big as an entire city. Xue Xianxian said. When the time comes, I need to go find some old friends. I will have them pay more attention to the Chen Martial Continent. I always have a feeling that the Chen Martial Continent will be very dangerous in the future. Su Yun said in a low voice. Chen Xiang said. He regretted not asking why the Ice Dragon and Super Old Fire Beast chose to hide in the Chen Martial Continent, and why the secular world his father lived in never appeared. In the next month, Chun Xiang either condensed creation divine liquid during the day or went to find Wu Qianqian to get intimate with him. At night, he would be together with Xue Xianxian as they cultivated. This month, Chun Xiang realized that Xue Xianxian and Ling Yulan were both very mature when it came to handling problems. It was obviously something he learned from Lu Menger, and now, the palace had opened an entrance, which was specially used to enter the profound realm, but it was empty inside, and required a few things to perfect, but they had already moved in, and the spirit qi was extremely dense. In the morning, the new profound realm absorbed the densest amount of spirit energy. Xue Xianxian laid in Qin Xiang's embrace, and said gently, "Husband, you go back to busy yourself. Your dragon subduing school is much more dangerous than us. Your dragon fountain is being watched by many great powers, and your dragon subduing city's medicine industry is so flurries. Hi+ing, it will make many people jealous. We can handle this here. We won't have much to do when we get to the heaven realm in the future." Chun Xiang kissed Xue Xianxian's fragrant lips, then got up and put on some clothes. "Brother, if your dragon subduing school needs any helpers, just call me. I will definitely rush over immediately." Ling Yulan laughed. "Ha ha!" Chun Xiang kissed her forehead. "Yulan, be more obedient and don't let Xianxian meddle." "I know, don't be so girly. I hate these things the most." Ling Yulan giggled. "Are you chasing me away?" Chun Xiang scolded. After bidding farewell to the two women, Chun Xiang came to Devil Subduing College from the transmission array in the city. At this time, the pressure on Devil Subduing College was also great, because of the rampage of the demons. Many sects had sent their disciples in to learn the anti-demon arts, and this Devil Subduing College was also viewed as a thorn by many demon-like forces. Chun Xiang had only come to the Devil Subduing College to take a look at Zhuo Zhenxuan's current situation. This Devil Subduing College had more and more disciples, and their scale was getting larger and larger. Chun Xiang had only come to the Devil Subduing College to take a look at Zhuo Zhenxuan's current situation. This Devil Subduing College had more and more disciples, and their scale was getting larger and larger. However, at that time, because of Di Tian, he did not choose to ascend, but chose to stay instead. Now, he continued to be the Prink. 1. P. Al of the Devil Subduing College, teaching him the demon-subduing martial arts, and at the same time protecting the Devil Subduing College from the attacks of the demons. Elder Zhuo, are you feeling a lot of pressure now? Chun Xiang and Zhuo Zhenxuan were on a tree-lined path within the academy. At this moment, the entire Devil Subduing College was extremely tense, because every day there would be a group of people leaving the place, heading towards the place where the demons had invaded the worst-case scenario. What I am worried about is that a powerful fellow will appear from the demon and devil realms. Right now, the more powerful one might be the great clan elder from the dragon subduing school, but everyone can guess that the great clan elder would be very powerful, so he will not stay in Ditian for too long. Therefore, your dragon subduing school will also be in danger. Everyone knew what kind of strength the white tiger had, and everyone knew that this kind of rancor would only come out to help the dragon subduing school temporarily, but would never be able to hold on for a lifetime. But currently, no one in the dragon subduing school dared to move, because no one knew if the great clan elder was still around. This group of demons have all lost control. They are savage and savage. Many of the big heads in the demon and devil realms can't do anything about them, but the big powers in the demon and devil realms are also very happy to see such a thing, because those big powers can fish in troubled water and get a lot of benefits out of it. Zhuo Zhenxuan already knew that some of the powers in the demon and devil realms were doing something. Chun Xiang nodded his head. That's right, Devil Race had sent people to attack Divine Weapons Heavenly Country earlier, and wanted to buy more than half of the Divine Weapons Heavenly Country's profound gang mines with a low price. Currently, all of the people who came to cause trouble in the Divine Weapons Heavenly Country had been killed by Ling Yulan, and their heads were hung on top of the city gates. Everyone in the south had heard of this matter, and they were extremely concerned about it as they thought that the devil race had openly attacked the forces of the human realm. I will arrange for some time to gather some of the big shots of the big powers to discuss about this matter. Right now, the losses of the human realm are already very heavy, and although the fierce demons have suffered a lot of casualties, they do not care, as there are many brainless fellows in the demon and devil realms. Zhuan was helpless towards such a thing, even the fierce demons were inciting him. Chen Xiang said, I will make a trip to the profound cold ancient realm to find the demon empress and ask her about the situation. I will see if she has any way to control the evil demon S. Chen Xiang was teleported from the devil-subduing college to a large city that was relatively close to the profound cold ancient realm. Although the large city was located in the human realm, it was established and managed by the demon charming A.S. Association because it was very close to the demon realm. There were a lot of demons in the northern demon city. These demons were different from the evil demon, they were all the more kind. As long as they were not provoked, they could live in harmony with humans. When the northern goblin city was attacked by the evil demon, the ones who contributed the most to the battle were the powerful demons inside. When Chen Xiang was in the city, he could smell the strong smell of blood, and outside the city, a big fire was burning down the rotten corpses. This place was closest to the profound cold ancient realm, and was also rather cold. Many people who wished to enter the profound cold ancient realm would either come here to make preparations, or to search for a group to enter. And the reason why Chen Xiang came here was on one hand to greet LV Qinlian so that she could look favorably upon the Chen martial continent, and that LV Qinlian had also promised Chen Xiang before. Of course, Chen Xiang also came here to sell his drunk God flower. He had condensed creation divine liquid for a month and brought out a lot of them, planning to trade with LV Qinlian for some good things. Even if LV Qinlian didn't have anything good, it would be good if he could exchange it with her. The demon charming A.S. Association was a profound realm. Although the profound realm was very big, there were not many female goblins in there. Chen Xiang had heard from LV Qinlian that the demon charming A.S. Association would take out a large area of land to cultivate some poison flower, poison GRAS, or even some pellets for alchemy. This profound realm was a little special. LV Qinlian was a demon formed from a lotus, so he had a natural advantage over plants and flowers. In the northern demon city, the most common things that came here were the things from the profound cold ancient realm S. Profound Bing were the most common, and the majority of the people that came here wanted to try their luck and get something out of the profound Bing S. Other than that, there were also many other items of the icy attribute sold here, such as ores, exotic flowers, herbs, weapons, and demon charming A.S. Association's biggest business here was selling strange flowers and herbs. Although the demon charming A.S. Association Fey all used poison, they never sold poison flower poison GRAS, but they did sell antidote ingredient. Many alchemists who refined antidotes came to this place to look for some herb. At the same time, the demon charming A.S. Association also sold primordial profound Bing, but the profound Bing they sold were all very expensive, because these profound Bing came from the depths of the profound cold ancient realm, and their shapes were strange as well. The Sky Demon Pavilion was the demon charming A.S. Association's shop in the northern demon city. It was huge, almost like a manor. After Chen Xiang arrived at the Sky Demon Pavilion, he quickly discovered the reason why business was booming here. It was because there were many bewitching fairies here, and many people came to see these beautiful fairies. Even though they were watching, no one dared to lay a hand on them, or else they wouldn't even know how they died. It was said that in the past, there were people who took liberties with these imps. Previously, LV Qinlian had invited Chen Xiang to the demon charming A.S. Association to take a look at some of the profound Bing, so he gave him an order badge. Chen Xiang came to the front desk and displayed the order badge to the mature and charming woman, then said, "I have something to find her for, see if it's convenient for her now." "Please wait a moment, I'll go inform them right away," the lady anxiously said. She was extremely polite to Chen Xiang. "I'll take a walk around here first." Chen Xiang was extremely interested in these profound Bing. He came here to get some profound Bing to study, because these profound Bing contained a very terrifying and mysterious cold energy. That golden ape came again. This guy spends all his time here looking at profound Bing-s, but rarely buys any. Even if he buys anything, he won't be able to get anything out. This guy can't be trying to seduce the spirit demon here, right? Shu, lower your voice. The Golden Ape Clan is very powerful. After Chen Xiang heard the discussions of the Golden Ape, he looked towards the hall displayed by the profound Bing. Only the strong people could enter, otherwise they would not be able to resist the intense coldness inside. The Golden Ape was very tall and stu.r.dysprosium. It wore a golden robe and was caressing a humanoid profound Bing. The Golden Ape was very tall and stu.r.dysprosium. It wore a golden robe and was caressing a humanoid profound Bing. Chen Xiang was also immediately attracted by the profound Bing, because it was like a beauty meticulously carved out of white jade. It had an extremely exquisite oval face and extremely clear facial features. It was hard to believe that this piece of profound Bing was formed naturally. It was simply too miraculous. Chen Xiang walked into the hall that displayed profound Bing-s. Seeing him walk in, many people were secretly shocked, because those who could enter had decent strength. They never thought that such an Una-s summing middle-aged uncle would be so powerful. After changing his appearance, Chen Xiang looked extremely ordinary, but right now, he had attracted some people's attention. "This big brother, what a great face! Is this your first time here? This is the Jade Man Profound Bing that our demon charming A.S. Association has just dug out. If you need to buy it, the price can be reduced," a sweet-looking goblin said in a clear voice. Chen Xiang looked at the price tag. It was actually 500 billion spar. It was outrageously expensive. However, in the last Golden Sun Saint Realm auction, the White Lotus Profound Bing was already worth more than 1,000,000,000,000 spar, so it was still relatively cheaper. Chen Xiang grinned and said, "If I can get a beauty like you out of there, I'll buy even 1,000,000,000,000. The lady laughed lightly. "Big brother, you are so funny. If you buy this profound Bing, as long as you take something out from it, we will return it to you. That is to say, if you're lucky, you can get something for nothing. If we're unlucky, we'll have lost 500 billion spar, and most of them are unlucky. We won't be able to get anything out of them." Chen Xiang shook his head as he looked at the Jade Man Profound Bing with the Chaos Divine Eye. The muscular man from the Golden Ape Clan looked at Chen Xiang with contempt and said disdainfully, "Humph, if you think you can't take it, then stop playing with Profound Bing. Profound Bing-s are not something that just anyone can afford to play with." Playing with Profound Bing? Chen Xiang snickered in his heart. He was an expert at playing Profound Bing. He was afraid that in Dtion, the person who could get the most out of Profound Bing would be him. Philosophic Stone S, Sky Stone and Rule Spiritual Bead, all of them were top-notch things. Chen Xiang was very clear that the young people that were looking at Profound Bing in the hall were mostly doing it for face. They thought that by staying here all day to look at Profound Bing, they had sufficient understanding of them and could even play Profound Bing. As for the shops, they were tricked by this kind of people, who would only buy 1 or 2 of the cheapest ones if they spent 2 to 3 years here. "Can you play? Why don't you open up all the Profound Bing here? I also don't see you buying a few pieces." Chen Xiang sneered. "Little Ape King, what did you say to this guy?" One look was enough to tell that he was not playing with Profound Bing. At this time, a black-clothed man walked over, swept Chen Xiang with his gaze, and continued to speak. Playing profound bing is not blindly buying, but watching, touching, smelling, and through careful observation, see if there are treasures inside. Chen Xiang laughed. Then I would like to ask two experts in profound bing games, have you ever driven a profound bing with treasures before? The little ape king's expression changed slightly. In northern Demon City, who didn't know of his reputation as the little ape king? Chen Xiang felt that these fellows were here all day because they were bored, and then let others feel that they were very strong, very different from the Ma. SSES. The black-clothed man said. Opening profound bing naturally has a luck element, but observation is essential. It can allow the person to have a greater chance at opening treasures, and also remove some of the unprotected profound bing. He came to the side of a red-purple profound bing and said, this piece of profound bing is a more common four-sided profound bing. The biggest characteristic of this piece of profound bing is that there are carvings on the surface, and from our observations we can see that it's a tree, and it's an old tree that's about to die, and its leaves are falling non-stop. Drop the leaf, old tree, die. This is an unknown profound bing, so there will not be anything inside. Chen Xiang really wanted to say fart, but he continued to laugh. Then what about this jade man profound bing? Little Ape King laughed coldly. Brother Black Tiger, don't talk so much with this guy, he is trying to trick us. We are professionals in the profound bing realm, we need to collect spar to explain to others. Chen Xiang couldn't help but laugh, and their argument also attracted many people who spectated. They all secretly felt that Chen Xiang was going to be unlucky. Offending the little Ape King and the Black Tiger was not a good thing. Did not want to cause trouble here, but since LV Qinlian had not come yet, he decided to take a look at the profound bing here. He wanted to see if he could find any treasures in there, and if he could get the treasures, he would be able to make the Sky Demon Pavilion cell even more profound bing. You too, you said that this square of profound bing does not have any treasures, right? Chen Xiang asked. Of course we all think so. Otherwise, this profound bing would not be priced so low. The Black Tiger said. Chen Xiang used the Chaos Divine Eye to look carefully. He could vaguely see that there was something inside the profound bing, but he was not sure if it was a treasure. Since there's only 60 billion spar, let's give it a try. Chen Xiang said to the sweet spirit demon, Miss, I want this piece. My intuition tells me that there is something inside this piece of profound bing. The little Ape King laughed out loud. You want to slap our faces, want to embarrass us, there's no need to waste 60 billion spars. You look like a mature and steady person, but I didn't expect you to be so impulsive. I really want to see what kind of thing you can come up with. Little Ape King, I never thought that I would see such a dumb person today. He openly told me that there's nothing inside the profound bing, but he insisted on buying it. He's doubting our eyes. The sweet woman had been watching by the side the entire time. She hadn't expected this outcome either. She felt that this middle-aged man was a good man, seemingly simple and honest. Big brother, are you sure you want to buy it? The sweet woman asked. If Xiao Tian could tell that the profound bing did not have any treasures, wouldn't you know? The little Ape King mocked. Xiao Tian frowned and said, I didn't see it, all right? If you did, why didn't I see you two open a profound bing? Our king said, if anyone saw that the profound bing had a treasure, that person would definitely buy all of the profound bing in the entire northern demon city. It was purely through luck. Chen Xiang laughed foolishly. Little miss, I'm sure I want to buy it. Isn't it just luck and the same as gambling? I don't have the courage to place bets in a casino, and yet I'm coaching others. What a joke. Hearing this, Xiao Tian agreed in her heart, but she was worried that this honest-looking uncle would be taken revenge by the little Ape King. Hearing this, Xiao Tian agreed in her heart, but she was worried that this honest-looking uncle would be taken revenge by the little Ape King. However, when she saw Chen Xiang straightforwardly giving her 60 billion spar, she knew that this uncle wasn't easy to deal with. Even someone like Little Ape King wouldn't be so generous. The Golden Ape Clan was one of the great powers in the demon realm. The demons inside were all golden apes, and they were not as barbaric as those in the evil demon. The Little Ape King was the son of the current Golden Ape King. The faces of the Little Ape King and the Black Tiger were both ugly. This was because they had never been said in such a way by others, and this caused them to feel stifled anger in their hearts. "Little girls, can you help me get rid of this profound being?" Chen Xiang asked. "Of course you can." Xiao Tian took out a very separated short blade and fiercely stabbed at the square-shaped profound being. When the profound being was attacked, it would immediately turn into powder, and at the moment the hall was packed. They stared at the pile of powder, and their faces were filled with shock, because on the pile of powder there was a black sunflower, although it was only the size of a palm, but it gave off a very dangerous feeling. "Ha ha! Who said just now that the profound being did not have anything? This is so funny." Chen Xiang laughed out loud, while the expressions of the Little Ape King and the Black Tiger were ugly to the extreme. Just a moment ago, they said that this profound being would definitely not have anything. That kind of self-confident look, in front of everyone, was just a joke. It was as if they were slapped twice by Chen Xiang. "What flower is this? Do you know, Miss Xiaoxi? It seems like the poison is very strong." Chen Xiang held the black sunflower and looked at it carefully. Xiao Tian's face suddenly changed and shouted in shock. "Big brother, quickly let go of this flower. If I'm not wrong, it should be a black blood magic sunflower. This is a highly toxic poison." "Little Ape King, let's go." Black Tiger's face turned pale, and he quickly left the hall. The other people inside knew how powerful the black blood magic sunflower was and ran out in fear. "I really don't know if this guy's luck is good or bad. He could get something out of the profound being, but he just foolishly took the black blood magic sunflower in his hands. He's dead for sure," Little Ape King said while gloating outside. "If he were to sell this black blood magic sunflower to the Demon Charming A.S. Association, he would definitely be able to make a huge fortune out of it." The Black Tiger sneered. Although Xiao Tian was a Demon Charming A.S. Association spirit demon and was good at using poison, she did not dare go close, because the black blood magic sunflower's poison was very strong. Black blood magic sunflower is known as the 100 Poison Gentleman, and is ranked 18th on the 100 poison list, because the top 10 were all super old poison. Therefore, the poison in the top 10 of the 100 poison list is a highly toxic poison that would cause immortals to tremble in fear. Xiao Tian hurriedly said, "Big brother, quickly put down that black blood magic sunflower. Who knows, maybe you can still be saved." The poison flower that was ranked 8th below the super old poison, and it was even one that was not restricted from use. It was indeed incomparably precious, and Chen Xiang knew that the person who used it would definitely like it a lot. "What are the symptoms of poisoning?" Chen Xiang asked. He gently pinched the black blood magic sunflower, and saw it actually tremble, and release a burst of black qi. Xiao Tian was so scared that her beautiful face paled. She could not care less about her foolish big brother, as she quickly ran away. The symptoms of poisoning is that your entire body's blood will turn black. After your blood turns black, it will quickly expand, causing your body to explode. The Little Ape King shouted, "Idiot, you're dead for sure." Chen Xiang really wanted to throw this black blood magic sunflower into the Little Ape King's mouth, but he only curled his lips and said, "If I'm not it, how about you kowtow 3 times to me?" This was unmistakable for the black blood magic sunflower. Most of the demons in the demon realm knew about this poison, because the demon realm was rich in poisonous flowers and poisonous herbs. They often went out to avoid being poisoned, so they had to learn to recognize this poison. "Everyone, no need to panic." LV Qinlian's clear voice came out, as everyone opened up a path for her, allowing her to enter the hall. When LV Qinlian heard that someone had shown her an order badge, and that they had urgent matters to discuss with her, she knew that Chen Xiang had come. Previously, she had also heard about the affairs of the Divine Weapon's heavenly country, so she thought that Chen Xiang should be in the Divine Weapon's heavenly country. Of course, this was a great thing for LV Qinlian. First, she had taken out a treasure from the Profound Bing, which could make her Profound Bing sell quite a lot. Secondly, the treasure she had taken out was actually the Black Blood Magic Sunflower, causing LV Qinlian to be extremely happy. Chen Xiang kept the Black Blood Magic Sunflower well, and told Long Shui to be more careful and copy one of them using the Creation Divine Liquid. He was definitely going to sell them one by one to LV Qinlian, and he was going to keep a single one for himself. Even if he were to openly use this thing against others, he wouldn't be wanted by the 9 heavens. I imagine that your esteemed self is also a congested person. I wonder if you will be willing to part with me? LV Qinlian pretended not to know Chen Xiang and asked. Chen Xiang packed away those Profound Bing and laughed simple-mindedly. It's really an honor to see the Demon Empress' beautiful face. Can we find a convenient place to talk? Please. LV Qinlian made a gesture, then brought Chen Xiang out of the hall. At the same time, he ordered the hall to be temporarily sealed, seemingly to prevent the Black Blood Magic Sunflower's poison from leaking, but in reality, the Demon Empress wanted Chen Xiang to carefully look through all the Profound Bing inside, taking away the Profound Bing with the treasures, leaving no treasures to be sold. Little Ape King and the Black Tiger gritted their teeth, because not only was Chen Xiang still alive, he had even befriended the Demon Empress. One must know that the Ape King of the Golden Ape Clan wanted to curry favor with LV Qinlian, but in the end, he did not succeed. Arriving at an elegant small hall, Chen Xiang crossed his legs and drank the fragrant flowery tea as he smiled. Big Sis Lu, you're becoming more and more black-hearted. Your Profound Bing probably will make your move even if you double. I'm afraid that in the entire northern demon city, only you have produced such a good item. LV Qinlian chuckled. Your little fairy's wife has already been bullied by others, yet you still dare to cause trouble here with me? You're too heartless. Chen Xiang took a sip of the scented tea and said, I just left the Divine Weapon's heavenly country not long ago. I've been there all this month. Xian Xian is also very powerful, there's no need for me to worry, but Sister Lian, those delicate spirit demons around here are always showing their faces. It makes one's heart ache. LV Qinlian scoffed. You playful little scoundrel, don't try to be naughty here. All the demons in my demon charming association are very pure. Chen Xiang took out the Black Blood Magic Sunflower, and laughed. Sister Lian, I will take out a treasure from the Profound Bing. You guys must return the 60 billion spar. Of course. How are you going to sell it to me? LV Qinlian looked at the Black Blood Magic Sunflower with a fixed gaze, as if he had seen his lover for a long time. That deep feeling also caused Chen Xiang to be a little dazed. Chen Xiang looked around vigilantly and whispered, Sister Lian, is it safe to stay here? I love your mouth. Chen Xiang looked around vigilantly and whispered, Sister Lian, is it safe to stay here? I love your mouth. Seeing Chen Xiang being so cautious, LV Qinlian must have something important to do, so she anxiously set up a barrier, isolating the hall from the outside. I really need this Black Blood Magic Sunflower. Name a price. LV Qinlian was a little worried that Chen Xiang would not sell it to her, because Chen Xiang also liked using poison. However, Black Blood Magic Sunflower could be used in public. At the very most, he would just be scolded by others, and wouldn't be hunted like how the magical corruption gas was used. Sister Lian, it's so unpleasant to hear whether or not you're selling it. I'll just give it to you. Chen Xiang laughed and directly handed the Black Blood Magic Sunflower over. LV Qinlian anxiously took out a jade box and placed it inside. She was extremely happy, and revealed a sweet smile. How can I take your things for nothing? How do you want me to thank you? As long as I can do it, I will agree to it. Chen Xiang licked his lips and gathered up his courage to say, Kiss me. Little scoundrel, stop messing around. LV Qinlian spat out lightly. Chen Xiang laughed. Sister Lian, how about you give me some of the powerful poison flower poison GRS that you have mastered and we can exchange it on the same level. Sister Lian's kiss is so precious, how can black blood magic sunflower be exchanged with it, right? LV Qinlian scoffed. Little scoundrel. Take it. Chen Xiang borrowed a jade box from LV Qinlian and opened it. Inside the jade box, there was a plum blossom that looked like it had been grinded out from a red crystal. What is this? Even though Chen Xiang had the impenetrable, he did not know that these poisonous flowers and poisonous SES, if it was anyone else, would have probably been poison long ago. Raging flames of the 20th rank on the 100 poison list. LV Qinlian leisurely said, This is the best poisonous flower that I have right now. I have a few, but it's very difficult to grow. Chen Xiang closed the box and asked, What will happen after I get poisoned? LV Qinlian said, As long as you touch it, the fire poison will enter the body, and through devouring the energy in the body, it will spread throughout the body, and if you do not quickly expel the poison people will feel as though they are in a furnace, their entire body will feel hot pain, and then their body will slowly turn into ashes. Of course, they are definitely not as powerful as the magical corruption gas. As long as the magical corruption gas enters the human body, it would be very difficult for even the immortal king to quickly get rid of it. Although it can be controlled immediately, it will be very difficult to expel it from the body and it will take a very long time to force out the poison. Chen Xiang laughed. Then it's because so many people are afraid of your demon charming associations spirit demons, so there are actually so many powerful poisonous creatures. Even if they don't die, they will not be able to live a comfortable life for the rest of their lives. LV Qinlian smiled sweetly and nodded. Now we have the black blood magic sunflower, it is the 18th ranked poison on the 100 poison list. I didn't expect it to actually be obtained from the profound Bing. I am truly grateful to you. Chen Xiang rubbed his nose. So what if you're ranked 18th on the 100 poison list, and you can't exchange it for Sister Lian's sweet kiss? What's so amazing about that? LV Qinlian rolled his eyes at Chen Xiang. You little scoundrel, you're getting more and more dishonest, to think that you would keep having these bad thoughts about me, big sister. This is not good. How could a beauty not like him, especially a spirit demon empress like LV Qinlian? However, Chen Xiang was only joking right now, but LV Qinlian had taken it seriously, because when she was in the sacred Dan realm, she knew that there were many girls who had a good relations. Hi+P with Chen Xiang. Furthermore, they were all extraordinary, especially girls like Yan Xilan and Long Huishan who could compare to her, who could even maintain a good relations. Hi+P with her. Previously, LV Qinlian had viewed Chen Xiang as his #1 enemy, but he never thought that their relations Hi+P was so close. Sister Lian, how did you get the profound Bing outside? Chen Xiang wanted to go to the profound cold ancient realm to see where all the profound Bing were. LV Qinlian smiled slightly. In the depths of profound cold ancient realm. To be honest, they were SNATC, head by us spirit demons. In profound cold ancient realm, they were surrounded by a group of very strong people, but after those spirit demons used poison to counterattack and killed those guys, they casually brought them over. Chen Xiang said, So that's how it is. Sister Lian, what's the rank of the magical corruption gas on the 100 poison list? LV Qinlian said in a low voice. Rank 7, the top 10 poisons on the 100 poison rankings are all prohibited. Those are all called super old poison S. Chen Xiang took out the snow-white drunk G.O.D. flower and smiled. This. When LV Qinlian saw the drunk G.O.D. flower in Chen Xiang's hands, he was not very sure at the beginning. However, after seeing the smile on Chen Xiang's face, he immediately confirmed it was one of the super old poison S, the drunk god flower. This is. LV Chenlian's face changed, and he immediately shut his mouth, because the drunk god flower had another name, the drunk god scent S, and it would be extremely toxic just by smelling the fragrance, and even if it was not absorbed into the body, the fragrance would seep into the skin, causing people to be poisoned. Sister Lien, don't worry, the drunk god flower will only release its power when it is burned. However, the effect will be even better if the drunk god flower is refined into powder. Looking at LV Chenlian's nervous expression, Chen Xiang knew that LV Chenlian was inferior to him in terms of poison use. LV Chenlian heaved a sigh of relief. At the moment, her face was filled with excitement, although this was a prohibited item, but she was extremely cyanide about it. She never thought that Chen Xiang could not only get a large number of magical corruption gas, he actually had a drunk god flower too. One person possessing two kinds of strange poisons. If word of this got out, all the rankers in all of the 9 heavens and 10 earth would catch Chen Xiang even if he were to bombard the heavens. When did you get it? After LV Chenlian confirmed that the drunk god flower would not poison, he immediately moved closer to Chen Xiang and carefully looked at the drunk god flower in its hands. Right now, Chen Xiang was greedily sucking on the intoxicating fragrance of LV Chenlian's body. Just as he was greedily sucking in the fragrance of LV Chenlian's body, he suddenly felt that he was in a daze, and his body was extremely hot. He felt that there was an extremely violent flame in his body. If he did not release it, he would probably explode. C.R.A.P. LV Chenlian's face changed. He immediately controlled himself, and did not let the rich fragrance escape. Following that, he took out a small lotus flower petal and placed it into Chen Xiang's mouth. At this time, Chen Xiang's body was completely red, his eyes were swollen and bloodshot, and from his pores, blood was seeping out waves after waves of terrifying heat, burning his clothes. After eating the petals that LV Chenlian took out, Chen Xiang gradually returned to his original state. He became much more clear-headed, but he was still in a daze. When he woke up, he found himself lying on a soft bed. He could smell the fragrance that almost killed him. Only now did he know that the fragrance that was being released by LV Chenlian's body was definitely capable of being ranked in the top 10 of the 100 poison list. Chen Xiang pulled off his bedding and realized that he was completely naked. He anxiously took out his clothes and put them on. Chen Xiang pulled off his bedding and realized that he was completely naked. He anxiously took out his clothes and put them on. LV Chenlian walked over and sat on the side of the bed. With a guilty look, he looked at Chen Xiang and said gently, "You should have rested well. I am truly sorry. I love your mouth." When he thought about the feeling that he was about to die, Chen Xiang no longer had any vicious thoughts towards LV Chenlian. After cultivating in the devil-suppressing golden body, neither the magical corruption gas nor the drunk god scent could do anything to him, but he was almost killed by the spirit demon's aroma. Sister Lien, you are much stronger than any drunk god scent. Chen Xiang lay down. His body was still soft at this moment, and when he thought of the frightening feeling from before, he couldn't help but break out in a cold sweat. Although LV Chenlian had such a powerful poisonous scent, he also had something like a holy lotus seed, which was difficult for Chen Xiang to understand. "You're very strong too. I thought I wouldn't be able to save you, but your body is much stronger than I imagined. I really don't know how you managed to refine it. In my opinion, I should reach the realm where my immortal devil body reaches large success." After this matter, LV Chenlian realized even more clearly just how powerful Chen Xiang was. "Your body is hiding endless fire energy, but I can't see what exactly your fire soul is. The fragrance that is being released from my body is able to make the stable fire energy in one's body become many times more violent. Chen Xiang now understood why he was unable to control his own body previously. Whether it was the divine sense C or his dantian, the various energies in his body were all berserk, losing control, constantly releasing energy. At that time, he tried his best to control his own body, and it was also like that which allowed him to regain his life. I'm so sorry, I didn't do it on purpose. When I get excited, I will release that fragrance, but if it's not strong enough, it will have no effect on people, and I was too close to you then. LV Qinlian said in a low voice. Aren't I fine now? It's all in the past. And it taught me a lesson. Chen Xiang didn't dare to have any more thoughts about LV Qinlian in the future. Seeing Chen Xiang's frightened expression, LV Qinlian could not help but laugh. Are you afraid of me now? You don't dare to have any other thoughts. Chen Xiang nodded honestly. I won't, it's deadly. Now, he didn't dare bring up the matter of kissing LV Qinlian to him. If LV Qinlian became excited and spat out that kind of poisonous scent, it would be a kiss of death. LV Qinlian let out a faint sigh. You have the devil-suppressing golden body, yet you're unable to suppress this poison. It seems like no one will want it in my lifetime. Chen Xiang said anxiously. Who said I can't control myself right now, but that doesn't mean I can't in the future. LV Qinlian chuckled and said, You're the first one to survive after being infected by this poison. Now that you're fine, I'm relieved. Where did you get that drunk G.O.D. flower? Is there more in that place? Chen Xiang took out another one and said, I've taken out all the drunk G.O.D. flower at that place. I have quite a few here, so I can refine many of them. As he said that, he took out a storage bag, and inside was the drunk G.O.D. flower that he had previously installed. In the future, the safety of the Chen Martial Continent would depend on LV Qinlian's protection, so Chen Xiang spent a lot of effort on it. LV Qinlian spat out a lotus seed that was S.H.I. plus Ning with a green light from her mouth. Now, I can only use this to exchange for it. It was another holy lotus seed. It had been 10,000 years for LV Qinlian to be able to bear a single one. Sister Lian, you should keep it for yourself. I still have the one you gave me last time. Chen Xiang had the creation divine liquid. He could reproduce a lot of them. You are an alchemist, so you will need it sooner or later. This is the best thing I can take out. I am a lotus flower myself. I do not lack this kind of thing. LV Qinlian grabbed Chen Xiang's hand and placed the holy lotus seed on his palm. Although the poisonous scent that I release is very powerful, I still can't control it. LV Qinlian looked at the storage bag and saw the number of drunk G.O.D. flower inside. He was shocked. There were actually 300 of them, 1 or 2 of them being a rare poisonous flower. It was already considered good. She kissed Chen Xiang's cheeks and said gently, Rest well. After you've recovered, go and take a look at those profound Bing. After LV Qinlian left, Chen Xiang's back was still feeling cold. Although LV Qinlian kissed his face, it made him feel like his life was at stake. I almost died. This seductress is so powerful. Where did she come from? At the same time, she has such a powerful poison on her, but she also has a holy lotus seed. What a contradictory woman. Chen Xiang muttered. Little scoundrel, let's see if you still dare to be so dishonest in the future. Su Meiyao and Bai Yuyu, who were inside the ring, had almost appeared before. They were too worried about Chen Xiang, and only after seeing that he was fine did they feel more at ease. Chen Xiang said, Sister Meiyao, this is none of my business. I just caught it the moment I smell the fragrance. There's one thing that I think is weird. It's Sister Lian. She said that the poison can make the energy in a person's body go berserk, but I think it isn't just that. Indeed, it's not only that. At that time, the power in your body was rapidly increasing. Although that power was very violent, you were several times stronger than before. Bai Yuyu's ice-cold voice came out. That's right, so I feel that Sister Lien's poisonous scent can either release all the hidden powers in the human body, or increase its power by multiple fold. If I can control her poison, my strength might suddenly increase by several folds. No, this is dangerous, don't act recklessly. Bai Yu said in a serious tone. Chen Xiang only thought about it, because it was different from the other things. In the past, his cultivation would be more painful, but it would not be fatal, but this almost caused him to die. 2 days had passed, and the hall where the profound Bing were sold was still sealed. This caused many people who wanted to buy the profound Bing to be very anxious, but they knew that the poison aura of the black blood magic sunflower had appeared in this hall before. There were many people outside waiting for the hall to open so that they could buy profound Bing S to break through. This was because black blood magic sunflower S were the best things that could be obtained from profound Bing S in the northern Goblin City. Although this was a matter of luck, many people still believed that the Heavenly Demon Pavilion Profound Bing S had a higher chance of dropping a treasure. Chen Xiang had already completely recovered. Right now, he and LV Qinlian were in the sealed-up hall, wanting to see through all of the Profound Bing here.